Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
We are here. Rooster, Travis, Echo 5 Hotel, Tracy. How's everybody doing? Somebody went away. Well, as soon as we came on, they started dropping like flies, Chris.
What can I tell you?
I know.
Legendary Barry Manilow joins.
Good morning, Travis.
There's a Pelka.
Thanks.
Oh. All righty. Let's see. YouTube.
Traffic. Yes, we have no gullitos.
Rooster, Echo 5 Hotel, Travis.
Hey, what's up, Rooster?
Sam.
Sam, how are you?
What is up? Always great to have Tracy Bogert, the chairman of the Bear County MAGA Republicans, coronavirus deniers, flat earthers, and Marjorie Taylor Greene enthusiasts. Louie. Hector Gomez, good morning.
Good morning, Hector.
Barry Manilow at 5:40. And then Barry Manilow once again at 7:50. And our extended conversation with Barry Manilow later this morning on the podcast.
Yes, sir.
Ray Reyes, what is up?
Yeah, I ran into a lot of rain on my way to work this morning. Out in Floresville. Out in Floresville, it's actually raining pretty decent. Yeah, I walked out of my house, no rain, get on the road, and I was like, why is the road all wet? And all of a sudden, here comes all the rain. I guess it had rained last night and then again this morning.
Nothing like that tropical cyclone that's coming.
Tropical cyclone. This just sounds so eerie.
Yeah, Louis, the Celtics' 18th NBA championship.
Yeah, but see, okay. When they got their first 11, there was hardly anybody. There was hardly anybody in the league.
Yeah.
They by far had
white dudes who were plumbers in the offseason.
And they had one of the best players ever. So there you go. Bill Russell was the man. Yeah,
they had Havlicek, Bob Cousy, in addition to Bill Russell.
Yep, that's true. You mean Bob Cousy, the magician? Yeah, they should have won. I agree.
Move that chair, blocking my view of the Neanderthal.
You have that same suit, right?
Yeah, we Neanderthal.
Y'all dress it. You buy them at the caveman shop.
Exactly.
So easy a caveman could do it, Chris.
Yes. Yeah, like 8 years ago by now, I did that 23andMe DNA test. Yeah. I was 0.5. I am, according to 23andMe, 0.5% Neanderthal.
Aren't we all, though?
Not necessarily.
Well,
I have other family members who did not come up 0.5%.
How about the mailman? Did you check the mailman?
I did not check.
Okay. Yeah, my sisters used to tell me I was adopted when I was growing up. They were mean to me, man. They did all kinds of things, but they used to tell me I was adopted. Look, you look nothing like Dad. You look nothing like Mom. Yeah, that sucks, man.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Who lets their 12-year-old swim in the Guadalupe River?
I don't know.
Unsupervised.
Man,
a lot of drownings the last couple of months.
I know. I'm just wondering if people just don't know how to swim anymore or what. God, she looks good today. Oh, Mandy.
Well, you came and you gave without taking, but I sent you away. Oh, Mandy. You kissed me and stopped me from shaking.
All right. Paul McCartney's birthday right off the open, or you want to wait till after you do the countdown, or what?
Let's set it up so that.
Okay.
Let's go to traffic and weather and come back with it.
Just open with it, coming back, or come back and set it up.
And set it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Works for me. Works for me.
And we'll kind of, double superstars today.
Yeah. Yeah. One turned 81 yesterday. This one turns 82 today.
Louis wants to know, how was Father's Day, Mr. T?
It was great, man. It was great, Louis.
Louis.
Now, this isn't Louis that owns Las Lagunas, right? This is not my buddy Louis, right?
Not Louis from Las Lagunas. Louis, identify yourself.
I can't see the picture. It's too small. Doesn't look like Louis. Which, by the way, if you're out in Floresville, Las Lagunas is officially sold. They will be changing ownership on June 29th.
Sam Tobias says the Mavericks forgot there was a game last night in the NBA Finals. Louis from San Antonio, Texas.
San Antonio, Louis.
We know that place.
Louis, USA.
I've been there.
I've been there too. I was born there. Surf's up in the coast. Look at there. Look at red flag. Ooh, yeah. Wow. Angelic.
It's amazing what a color does.
I know, right?
Yeah. Mueller.
My friend's next door neighbor across the street said that he's not feeling well. What a great movie, by the way. Loved it. Yeah. Did you see this? Secret Service agent robbed at gunpoint in California.
Wow.
One of Biden's Secret Service agents.
Not good.
Out by himself. He did fire his service weapon, but didn't say if he hit anybody or not. Yeah, Bill Walton is happy in heaven. You are correct, Louis. See, that's another reason why I wanted him to win it.
Yeah, I do give them props for wearing the Bill Walton shirts.
Which I love those, by the way.
Those
are cool. So do I. I can get my wife on NBA.com and get me one.
Held at gunpoint. Not just robbed, but held at gunpoint.
Yeah, he was while the president was having his what do you call it? Fundraiser. Did you see she sent okay.
Rooster says the rivers are overcrowded in New Braunfels. That would make sense.
Yeah, but still, how do you, let your 12-year-old kid out there?
Yeah.
Well, Chris, what do you say? You want to do a show?
Let's do a little radio show.
Let's do a little radio show today. What do you say?
Why the hell not?
Should get Barry Manilow and get him on today.
Hey, what do you think? Let's get Barry Manilow at 5:40.
Okay, I'll see if I can't wake him up. Yes, we have no Galitos.
Looking at that Juneteenth, we should bring that up in the meeting regarding.
I told him I was going to do it because he talked to them yesterday about putting July 5th off and doing something. You don't have to do that.
Okay.
I'll tell him, look, dude, here's how it goes.
Welcome into this beautiful day, Tuesday, June 18th, 2024. 8 days until the NBA draft, 9 days until the first presidential debate on CNN, 40 days and 40 nights until the Victor Wembanyama Olympics in Paris, 81 days until NFL opening night, Baltimore Ravens at Taylor Swift's boyfriend's team, and just 140 days until the 2024 election. What could possibly go wrong? Charity McCurdy off for one more day. She'll be back tomorrow. Mr. T, Tim Merriman, how are you?
I am doing great, Chris. Boston Celtics have picked up their 18th championship. And look, I'm glad they did it for Bill Walton.
If indeed they did it for Bill Walton.
Sure they did. That's where we're wearing Bill Walton shirts. And
yeah, I like Bill Walton. Love the late, great Bill Walton. And former Spur Derek White gets a ring.
Finally.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
And for those of you who hate Dallas, then you're a little
would be me.
You're a little happier.
I'm a little happier, yes.
We have an amazing guest on the show this morning, a superstar, a legitimate superstar. We'll tell you who that is in just a moment. But first, let's get you caught up on traffic and weather together.
Partly to mostly cloudy skies today. Stray shower, thunderstorm, possible highs in low to mid 90s. Tomorrow, rain. There is a potential for some flooding rains. Highs in the low 80s. Thursday, cloudy with periods of rain, I should say. Highs in the mid 80s. It is 78 degrees in Terrell Hills, 78 at City Base, and 77 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 512.
It is a Yacht Rock Tuesday. Little Hall & Oates for you before they were at each other's throats and suing each other as they are now.
Wouldn't you like to see a cage match between those two guys?
I wish they'd just get along. I liked it
they
better
did great stuff, man.
When they were doing their thing. Well, music will be a part of our show this morning. In a bit, we will tell you about the superstar who will join us at 5:40 this morning in just a little while. But Mr. T, speaking of music and rock and roll royalty, today is a very, very special birthday.
Happy 82nd birthday to Sir Paul McCartney.
1, 2, 3. She loves you, yeah. It was a day trip made by Margarita. Hey Jude, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Get back to where you once belonged. Back in the USSR. It was 20 years ago today. Sergeant Pepper taught the band to play. Live and let die. Yeah! All the band on the run. Baby, I'm a man. Baby, I'm a lonely man who's in the middle of something. I say it's your birthday. It's my birthday too, yeah.
The catalog of Paul McCartney, you go Beatles, Wings, and solo all the way until now.
Yeah.
It is prolific and spectacular.
Fantastic. Happy birthday, Sir Paul.
Sir Paul. Now, from one superstar to another, Mr. T, we have a very, very special superstar legendary guest at 5:40.
Yes, we do. Should I tell the people who it is?
Yeah.
The one and only Barry Manilow joins us at 5:40 this morning.
Wow. He is coming to San Antonio on August 15th, coming to the Frost Bank Center, and he is doing an amazing thing.
Yeah, it's great.
For music students and music teachers around the country, including right here in San Antonio. We'll talk about that with Barry Manilow coming up at 5:40. But let's get this party started now. We got a lot to talk about, including the Surgeon General wants to put a warning on social media. How do you feel about that? We'll talk about that coming up. WOAI News Time, 5:16.
And we're back.
Welcome back, Frankie.
Frankie.
79 in Universal City, Texas.
Right on.
Where Frankie is hanging this morning.
Good morning, Tim.
Tracy Bogert just posted about Paul McCartney's 82nd birthday.
Right on.
Very nice.
What can we say? That it did. It's Taco Tuesday.
It is Taco Tuesday. Although yesterday was Taco Monday. We had tacos yesterday.
Yes, we did. Thank you for that, by the way.
Absolutely. We had Taco Palenque yesterday. My
Very good.
God. So good.
The trees on Bean were pretty good. It was appreciated.
Yeah.
Well, you're welcome, Louie. We appreciate you watching the live stream. It is good coffee, right? I agree, Sam. I agree. All righty then. Just going to throw it to Brian, right?
Yeah. Legendary singer-songwriter Barry Manilow joins Chris and Tim at 5:40 and 7:50 Tuesday morning to talk about his August 15th show coming to the Frost Bank Center and his Manilow Music Project, providing funds to music students and teachers.
Love it.
Facebook.
Stand by.
On a Yacht Rock Tuesday with special guest Barry Manilow coming up at 5:40 this morning. We're just ahead of headlines, traffic, and weather together. And the Surgeon General wants to put a warning label on social media for kids. We'll talk about that coming right up. But first, Brian Gann in for Charity McCurdy. What stories are you tracking?
Rain in the forecast, a lot of rain in the forecast. We welcome in News 4 San Antonio meteorologist Jeanette Kaye. Good morning, Jeanette. $79 degrees in Universal City, 75 in Schertz, and 77 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 522.
It is a Yacht Rock Tuesday, San Antonio's first news. Charity McCurdy taking one more day off to extend her birthday weekend. She'll be back tomorrow. He's Mr. T. I'm Chris Duell. Barry Manilow coming up at 5:40 this morning. Andrew Zimmel flying the Millennium Falcon solo and directing our YouTube live video stream. If you want to hang out with us on YouTube, there's a live chat in there as well. You can chat with us in real time and also chat with other viewers who are watching the show and talking amongst themselves.
Yes,
and one
they
of the
are.
things we're talking about, Mr. T, we brought it up yesterday. Surgeon General of the United States, Dr. Vivek Murthy, wrote an op-ed in yesterday's New York Times, and he says social media is very dangerous to children in America, and he is not asking, he's demanding a warning label be put on social media.
Yeah. What would that label say, though, Chris? That's what I want to know. Because if you remember, cigarettes had a warning label on when they first came out. Smoking cigarettes may be hazardous to your health.
Yeah.
So they're going to put on there, going on social media may be hazardous to your health. Stay away. That's the devil. What do you want to put on there?
I would think social media can cause mental health issues,
Sure.
especially
Loneliness,
for
yes.
children.
Yeah.
And parents, beware. And parents, how about parenting your kids a little bit better?
Yeah, that's what the warning should say.
Yes.
Hey, kids, ask your parents how much time you should be on here.
Yeah.
Come on. That's really what it comes down to.
Now, you brought up yesterday that a warning label doesn't necessarily do any good.
No.
And on a certain level, I agree with you. But on another level, to make it official, to try to raise any awareness that parents should parent a little bit better, and that, yes, indeed, there can be harmful things for kids on social media, and that the official stance of the U.S. government is that this can be harmful to kids. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing.
No, but it's been a warning on cigarettes forever, and yet you still see people smoking all the time.
True.
There's a warning label on alcohol. You still see people drinking it all the time.
True.
I mean, it's
But
not
we
going to
warn
stop,
them.
but yeah, you're warning them so that, okay, at least you've been warned?
Yeah.
Is that what the warning's going to say?
That's the best we can do.
Now, if you really want to get to teenage boys, put on here, this could cause you never to have a date in your life.
That's a
In
possibility.
real life, I should
You
say.
want to avoid
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Dates are good if you're a young man. All right,
Yeah.
Mr. T, what are we asking the people this morning, and how would they let us know?
We should ask them on the social media. I mean, on our social media. We're asking them on
With the
the
warning label.
iHeartRadio app, the talkback feature. Is it a good idea, bad idea, and what should that label say?
If
That's what
anything.
we want to know. Yes.
Yeah, we want to hear from you. We will play your comments on the air. Coming up at 5:40, Barry Manilow. He's coming to San Antonio on August 15th to the Frost Bank Center. He's also doing great stuff for kids and teachers, music students and music teachers. We'll talk about that and more. Brian Gann in for Charity McCurdy. He's got all the big stories you need to know about on this Tuesday morning. Right now, your Fox Business Report, WOAI News Time, 5:25.
All right, hey, we're back.
We are back.
All right. We're just not going to have a lot of time after the.
No, I understand
That's
that.
fine.
We'll move fast.
Yeah, no, that's
Tracy
fine.
Bogart, you're raising your daughter Serenity well by exposing her to the Beatles,
Amen.
including Paul McCartney.
Amen.
Sam Tobias would rather vote for tacos. I got to bust out my I vote for tacos t-shirt more. Frankie, my son's name is Jude.
That's a great
When
story.
he was younger, complete strangers would compliment what a beautiful baby he was and ask his name. When I tell them his name, they'd start singing Hey Jude on the spot. Very cool, Frankie.
Oh, that was great, man.
All right, let's see. I did a Facebook post. I haven't done an Instagram. I'll do an Instagram. Tim says, today I feel like my brain is rotted.
On social media again?
That's what this show will do to you, Tim.
Sorry, man.
Let's see here.
Hey, Aaron is here today. I've not seen him all day.
Who?
Aaron, a security guard.
Yeah, I saw Aaron when I walked in.
Wasn't at the desk when I walked in. She wasn't making coffee when I walked in, or he wasn't making coffee when I walked in. Hello, Blossom.
No, switch to. It'll let me. It's not letting me. What's on there? Try that. There it goes.
Social media can cause rants and breakdowns. I love that, Sam. That's a good one. Oh, wow. All right, well, we've got two we can play at 50, so.
Beautiful.
No, it'll be black.
Cool. I'm doing a Barry Manilow post on Instagram. I'll be done in a sec. And
We talked about it last week about potentially having range for 3 weeks.
yes.
Did we talk about that?
No one to my knowledge. No, we need to though. All righty. Louis says, spend more time on your mind than social media. A good choice. Tim, Louie, Echo 5 Hotel, Frankie, Sam, Ray, Tracy Bogert. Welcome in, everybody. There's our Barry Manilow social media photo. I just did an Instagram post, a Twitter post, also known as X, and a Facebook post. Joe says, what's up with the gas prices? I saw somebody posting that like overnight, gas prices have taken a little bit of a leap. That is just the oil companies wanting to make sure that Joe Biden is not reelected.
It's funny you should say that because I paid $2.77 yesterday.
Woo.
And then saw that same place this morning was close to $3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Conspiracy.
It is, I tell you.
I do that.
Mike Taylor's older brother with a weird head.
It looks like a. It's okay, Tim. Stay as long as you can. No worries. You're a smart man, Travis.
So happy birthday.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yes. No, I'm a fan of Lowe.
And
yes, because he says, "Oh, thank you for
cool.
Yeah.
Two things. Number one, yeah.
Yes.
Joe Six-Pack is in here.
Yeah, I know. Saw that. I'm Joe 12-pack. Thank you.
I'm Joe 18-pack.
Ooh, look at you one-upping me.
Woo. Second UTSA football player arrested.
Yeah, I know.
Jeff Traylor will not be pleased.
You see the one that got arrested for robbery? Aggravated robbery, which means there was a gun involved or a weapon of some sort. What was he arrested for? He smells. Now it's Joe 69.
Joe 69. Joe, why the 69? Were you born in 1969? Or does this suggest one of your hobbies?
It's not a hobby. It's a passion.
Music and passion. They're always the fashion at the Copa. Don't fall in love. Born in 1969. Very good year, Joe. July 20th, 1969. I remember it well. I was 8 years old, just about to turn 9, sitting in front of my television set at 5502 Ben Hur Drive in San Antonio.
I love that, Travis. That's got to burn.
Yeah.
Your balls filled with pepper spray. Ah.
September of 1969. Very nice.
Nice. Okay. Uh, 610, I got us talking weather.
That'll work for
610
us.
and 650. Because we got
Rates,
race
yeah,
agent.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep, total sense. And currently 2 talkbacks. 4, my God.
3 plus Kempers.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah. 3 on social media and Kemper,
Cool.
which is just funny as hell. I like hers. Damn, we're late. That's all right.
Travis does not have any social media accounts and never has. You're probably better off, although.
But somebody pointed out YouTube is technically a social media account right now.
Yeah.
I know.
You can make that argument.
It's border.
Yes and no.
It's on the fringe.
I mean, YouTube is just, if you want to go down rabbit holes.
Oh, my God.
If I want to go watch a Cowboys football game from 1969.
Yeah.
It's so amazing.
You know what else it's very good for is if you're trying to fix something and you don't know
Yes.
exactly how to do
Google
it.
Yes.
And you'll get step-by-step instructions on how to do something.
I once YouTube searched how to change the battery in my iPhone, and it showed
sure
step
did.
by step by
Yes.
step. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm a big
it's
fan.
going to be 43, dude. Jeez. Oh, well, that's all right.
We'll just be late.
Yeah.
We'll
catch
make
up.
that last segment really short. We have
Yeah,
to.
because it's God bless America.
Jeff Ross, welcome in.
The comedian?
Could be the Jim Ross. I said Jeff. It's
okay.
Jim Ross.
Oh, Jeff's brother, Jim.
Yeah.
Okay.
With an emoji with a cowboy hat.
Okay. Jeez, it's going to be 43, dude. There's no question. Man, how does this get so blown up like this, man? Wow. Wow.
Hello, Jim. I
don't think you're right.
He is singing from the point of view of music.
Oh.
I am music, and I write the song.
I don't see Andrew being music.
It is music that is singing the song. Through Barry Manilow.
Thanks, News at the top.
Thank you.
Wow.
Brian Gann, everybody.
Southside.
Southside.
Felix Trevino Way.
Felix Trevino Way. I don't know that street.
Wonder if there's any relation to Lee.
Frankie says gas could go down $1 and she still wouldn't vote for Joe Biden.
Amen.
You just got a tip of the hat from Tracy Bogart, chairman of the Bear County MAGA Republicans. He can take a licking and keep on ticking.
So if him and Marjorie Taylor Greene got together, she'd be Marjorie Taylor Bogart.
Nice.
Yeah. MTB.
Yeah, I do believe Tracy Bogart is happily married. However,
good.
Anything
good.
changed, I think Marjorie Taylor Greene is Tracy Bogart's kind of woman.
Here we go, Chris.
Yes. All right. He is a legendary singer-songwriter. He is a superstar. He is coming to San Antonio to bid farewell to San Antonio in August. He is the one and only Barry Manilow. Barry, welcome in. Two things. Number one, I am a fan-alow. And number two, yesterday was your birthday. So from Tim and me, happy birthday.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for being a fan. And I'm not so sure. Thank you for wishing me a happy birthday. I'm 100 years old.
No. No. And what I love, Barry, is you got to be loving this birthday because the last year and a half has just been spectacular for you. The residency at the Westgate Las Vegas, setting the record for most performances at Radio City Music Hall. I love everything you're doing right now.
Yeah, and you know, I don't mean to brag, but we just sold out a month at the London Palladium. I just got back from London.
And Barry, this thing that you're doing, I love this, by the way, the Manilow Music Project, because there are a lot of schools that had to cut their music budget and they don't have the money for instruments. How did this come about?
Somebody down in where I live in Palm Springs, they asked me if I could find a sax for his daughter, because she wanted a sax. Because they haven't got any sax in her school. I said, they haven't got a sax in her school. And when I started, and I got her a sax, but when I started looking into it, they're running, the government stopped funding music and arts in all the high schools. So these music schools, they're all looking for instruments, and the kids are playing these instruments that are 40 years old, and yet they still love their music classes. And so, we start to give them as many schools as we can, and we start to just give them as many instruments as we can, and we do it all year long. We've been doing it for 15 years. They tell me that we've given about $10 million of instruments to all around the country.
Wow. And Barry, great news for San Antonio. On this tour, the Manilow Music Project is giving away $170,000 for local high school bands and their music directors. And I know you're coming to San Antonio on August 15th to the Frost Bank Center. And through the Manilow Music Project, local high schools and their directors can apply and can get these funds to bring these instruments to local area high schools.
Yes, that's right. I'm not sure, but tell me if I'm right. Are we picking? I think we're picking the kids' favorite music teacher out of all the schools in your vicinity. They're picking their favorite music teacher, and I introduce them in the middle of the show.
That's exactly how it works, Barry. And speaking of the show, I have to ask you this because you've got so many hits. How do you pick a set list out of all these songs? If you played all your hits, you'd be playing for days.
Yeah, I do, and they love it, and I love doing it. Yeah, I do. We do a big show, and most of them. Listen, I'm a lucky guy. I've got a catalog of songs that can fill up over 90 minutes, and all these songs people recognize. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, and Barry, I go all the way back to the 1970s with your music. I'm going to be 64 years old, and I remember the Barry Manilow Live. I had it on 8-track. I go all the way back to 8-track with you, Barry.
You're great. Thank you. But that album really went crazy. I think it was one of the first live albums for a younger generation, and that was the album I did the VSM, the Very Strange Medley, my commercials medley.
Yes, I know, and I love that. And how did that come about? How did you decide that, hey, I can write some jingles? Because it's been a part of my life since I was a kid. I remember almost every one of them that you had something to do with. How did that come about?
Well, somebody called me, an agent called me, because I was starting to get a reputation as being a writer and a piano player. And they asked me if I wanted to go up for a commercial, because a lot of guys were going up for the same commercials. And if you got it with your melody, then you made some money on it. And so everybody tried to get the United Airlines commercial or the Kentucky Fried Chicken, and so I went up for a Dodge commercial, and I got it on my first pass. So that's what started the whole thing.
He is the great Barry Manilow, coming to San Antonio August 15th. If you want to hear our extended interview with Barry, we'll post that after the show, 9 o'clock on WOAI.com. And a big thank you to one of the biggest Fanilows ever, Patty Larson.
Yes, thank you, Patty,
for helping us set up that interview. Much more coming up. Flashback next. WOAI News Time, 5:48.
All right, we're back.
Woohoo!
Yeah, we're not going to have a lot of time at all.
Yeah, there's more to that Barry Manilow interview. We will post it.
Yeah, we were only allowed, so much time on the air.
We'll post it. We'll podcast it after the show, just after 9 o'clock this morning.
Just think of it as the extended dance mix.
Yes.
Wow, we are so freaking late, dude. You know what? We got to blow out Flashback.
Let's do it.
Because it's going to be 56
okay.
if we don't.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Wemby getting bigger and better is the story.
Look at him. Look how buff he is now, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
They're doing a two photos of Wemby beginning of last season and now, and how much bigger he is.
Yeah. Just give us a regular bumper, and then we'll throw it to Brian. Because if not, man, we would not. Yeah, we'd be done.
That'll work.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, everybody. You're going to miss Flashback today. We apologize. I think all we're going to be able to do is play Kemper's.
Okay.
Because it's over a 3-minute break. So let me tell you your out time. 56. So we can get back on time.
Okay.
So it's going to be real close, man. After Headlight, we'll be able to play hers and then go. There's that bong again. I swear that sounds like a bong,
It does
man.
sound like a bong.
I mean, that's what the kids tell me.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I saw one in a movie once.
Yeah, apparently, according to the kids, the bong is like a cylindrical plastic object that the kids smoke their
Actually,
marijuana
I
in.
hear a lot of kids say they're glass now, Chris.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
I did not know that.
A lot of kids go to the Planet K and check out their huge selection. Not to
really?
mention,
Okay.
there's one out in Floresville on 181 called Planet 420. I don't understand what that means,
Yeah, I
but
don't
that's what
either.
it's called.
Okay.
Yes. And apparently a lot of those are glass as well. Apparently glass is the new plastic. Just saying.
Thank you, Tommy Miller. Yeah, we go deeper with Barry. We'll podcast that extended interview.
We had time constraints. So we have to remember at the bottom of next hour to get out. I'll figure out a good out time. That way we don't make John Decker wait.
Okay. Rock texted, Chris's life is now complete. Thank you. Steve DeRocco, the original Rock.
That's funny. That is, you know what? He's right, though. That's it, Chris. Woo. You're done. Walk. Drop the mic. Go.
Mm-hmm.
We should have got him to go ahead and work on that jingle for Taco Cabana.
Yes.
Maybe we did. You'll have to listen to the podcast to find out.
There's Steve DeRocco right there. Thank you, Steve DeRocco. There's more Barry Manilow. We'll put it on the podcast. Yeah, we once, Steve DeRocco and I, we each got two Barry Manilow tickets for ourselves and our significant others.
Yes.
And for whatever the reason, they couldn't go. And we said, screw it, we're going. So at Verizon Wireless Amphitheater, my date to Barry Manilow was Steve DeRocco. And we're walking around, and like people are like two dudes.
Yeah, we know.
Hanging out. It's like, I always suspected.
Yeah. Now it's true. Did you get lucky?
No. Although, had we been single, there were a lot of like middle-aged single women there.
Sure.
And if you're a man,
a fan-a-lo,
and you would like, middle-aged and
just
very good-looking
cougars,
middle-aged women, a Barry Manilow concert is a pretty good place to do some scouting.
Chris?
Steve DeRocco says women love Barry. Yes, they do.
They do. Stand by.
Okay, just a quick toss.
Yeah.
Just ahead of headlines, traffic, and weather together in for Charity McCurdy is Mr. Brian Gann. Brian, what stories are you tracking?
Partly to mostly cloudy today. Stray shower, thunderstorm, possible highs in the mid-90s. Tomorrow, rain. There's a potential for some flooding rains, highs in the low 80s. And then on Thursday, cloudy with periods of rain, highs in the mid-80s. It is 78 degrees in Alamo Heights and 77 right here in Stone Oak. WOEI News Time 5:55.
The late, great Gary Wright, Dreamweaver, on a Yacht Rock Tuesday. We lost Gary Wright about a year ago.
Yeah.
San Antonio's first news, our thanks to Barry Manilow. And we've been asking people, Mr. T, on the Talkback feature on the free iHeartRadio app. What do they think about the Surgeon General wanting to put warning labels on social media? Now, whenever we pose a question on Talkback, you're not limited to that Talkback. And I understand Kemper, whom we love, decided to take it into another direction.
Yeah, Kemper's so clever. Here is Kemper.
Good morning on this Yacht Rock Tuesday. I guess you're turning it into the Copacabana there. I can't smile without First News, and Barry Manilow definitely wrote the songs. I guess it looks like we made it because we're going to see him somewhere down the road at the concert in August. Have a great day. Love listening to you guys. Tell the man I said hello, and I'm thankful I won tickets.
Very cool. How great is that?
That is very cool.
How many Barry Manilow songs were in that one Talkback?
I counted 5.
At least 5. Wow.
Yes.
See, I forgot. Kemper won tickets.
Yes, he did.
To see Barry Manilow. And we also had a love connection on that
Yes, we
ticket
did. Bob
giveaway.
and Cindy. Yes.
Bob and Cindy going to see Barry Manilow at the Frost Bank Center on August 15th. Coming up, we will take a deep dive into this weather, and they are saying a tropical cyclone.
Ooh.
That's what they're calling it. A tropical cyclone is a possibility. We'll get into that and a whole lot more. Brian Gann in for Charity McCurdy. He's got all the big stories you need to know about on this Tuesday morning. WOAI News Time, 5:57.
Okay. I was just listening to Hector Gomez.
Yeah, Tim, the way it is set up, Tim was mentioning he couldn't hear Brian Gann's news.
Yeah.
It's not wired into this studio.
So unless it comes out of this studio,
Yeah.
you will not hear it.
Yes.
Which is unfortunate.
So tomorrow, Charity is back.
And you'll be able to hear everything.
Yeah, you'll hear her and see her.
Yeah, which we know everybody's waiting for that, Chris.
And we will move from chopped liver to eye candy. Thank you very much.
Or CFR, if anybody's figured that one out.
CFR.
CFR.
You see
Kind of
us
like CCR, but not.
No, CFR is much more edgier
Yes.
than
So if
CCR.
you see us out someplace and you want to know what that means, just ask us, what is CFR? We'll be glad to share it with you. Then there's also the HCFRs.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, when we play the Bonham. Oh, by the way, Doug McCoy, my brother-in-law, sent me a text. He says, if Barry invites you to his suite after the concert, go. Don't mess up like you did with Little Richard. Thank you, Doug McCoy.
See, I wanted you to tell Barry, look, man, Little Richard hit on me one time. Does it do anything for you?
Barry, have you ever met Little Richard?
Your brother-in-law's got it, man.
He knows
Yes.
he knows the Little Richard story.
Yeah, just the fact that it was Little Richard is why he didn't want to go.
Yes.
Would have been Big Richard, he'd have been there.
Correctamundo. Okay, so I had a Twitter post saying that we had Barry at 5:40. We're going to replay Barry Manilow at 7:50.
Yes.
So I need to do another Twitter post here in a minute.
So you'll be able to hear Chris typing here very shortly. It's very, very entertaining.
I type on my Apple portable keyboard. I don't like texting with my thumbs. I'm bad at it. I suck at it. So this is a Bluetooth keyboard.
And so when you see Chris texting and driving, he's got this on his dashboard.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is on my lap while I'm driving.
That would be something to see somebody do. You know, it would not surprise me, Chris. Not you, but somebody else.
I was so stupid as a 20-something. When I drove from Los Angeles to San Antonio, nonstop, always trying to break the record. I plugged into my lighter. I had this big bulky VCR.
Oh, and
I had a black and white TV.
Oh, you
on
gotta
my
be
dash.
kidding me!
And I am driving down I-10 in Arizona,
Watching TV,
watching
Wow.
videos while I'm driving in the middle. I'm stupid.
Wow!
Should have been killed.
Wow!
Should have been pulled over, arrested, and publicly flogged.
Oh, look, see, Hulu's trying to make up for that. Bratz. They're now streaming some of the Brat Pack movies.
anything's got to be better than brats.
Oh my God.
That was
Horrible.
the line, Steve Duraco. Ain't I pretty?
Yeah.
Ain't I pretty, Chris? Yes, little Richard, you're very pretty.
Yeah, it's funny because what you might hear in the extended version of that interview, Chris asked Barry, "Am I pretty? Am I
Yeah.
pretty?"
And we'll get Barry's answer to that question.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kemper. I'm assuming J. Kemp P is Kemper. On our,
That I don't
I'm
know.
assuming. I could be wrong.
Is that you, Kemper?
We believe it is.
Let's find out. Is that you, Kemper? Please.
Donald Trump equals life, according to Jim Ross.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to take a quick.
Chris is leaving right now. He's leaving. Chris is leaving.
But not for long.
Chris is leaving.
I'm not
Say
leaving
goodbye,
on a
Chris.
jet plane.
Say goodbye, Chris.
Goodbye, Chris.
Yeehaw. In your right way. We'll be right back. I got to go refill my coffee. Chris will be right back. I don't know where he went, but he'll be back.
Woohoo! Oh, my goodness. Do I have time to do a Twitter post, also known as X, on our Barry Manilow 750? Let's see if I can pull that off. Let's see. Legendary.
Wow. Okay, bye, people. Uh-oh.
$750, correct?
Correct. Ow. Oh. Vernal Scott, everybody. What the hell is a tropical cyclone? I need to know. Any idea?
Good question.
Look at that. They're listening to us. Okay, it's almost the same as a hurricane or a typhoon. It's strong winds, heavy rain, spiral thunderstorms, but it's not a hurricane or a typhoon.
Okay.
It's a destructive, intense, rotating storm system that forms over warm tropical or subtropical waters. That's what it is.
Very cool. You can tell the people that when we talk about, okay, why is that?
Joy, 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 joy.
I think Jim Ross likes Donald Trump.
I see that, Chris.
Nice.
I see that, yes.
He also said Boomer Sooner, though.
Well, that explains a lot.
You know.
I didn't realize he was from Dallas.
Yeah.
Or as I like to call it, South Oklahoma.
Baja, Oklahoma.
Baja. Chris, I'm glad you asked about the tropical cyclone. I'll tell you exactly what it is.
Hey, Jim, it's cool. You gotta fight for your right to party. You gotta stand up for what you love. Oklahoma Sooners and Donald Trump. It's all good, man. But I do. I'm a good friend. Dylan Emery, the blue-collar sports guy, is a big Oklahoma Sooner. Used to have him a lot on Ticket 760. Andy Everett
is
an Oklahoma alum as well.
Yes.
So we like to say it's 6:08 a.m. and OU still sucks. But it's all in fun.
It is, yes.
Yeah, you don't have to stop, Jim. It's good.
Sooner board, Sooner bread.
And hey, man, that OU softball team, Mike.
Man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, I am a USC
watch out. Here comes
Trojan,
Andrew.
Jim, so we did pilfer
He's monitoring us.
Lincoln Riley from you.
What's up? Oh, the damn things went out again? I don't understand why that keeps happening.
So just FYI.
Maybe we should get an artist rendition and just hang a banner.
Or like
yeah.
actual,
We have a roll of banners somewhere in this building that are. We should.
One of the banners.
Well, there is that. Yeah. There is that. Tropical Cyclone 1, Chris.
Wow.
Like they come up with all these new names all the time for stuff.
I know.
You know? Winter Vortex.
Arctic Apocalypse.
Stormageddon. Snowmageddon. Yuri. Well, this is weird because it says tropical cyclones occur every year during the late summer months in the northern hemisphere, July to September.
Wow.
It's June.
Yeah. Jim, all the more reason if you're from Oklahoma.
Amen. What part?
Unlike Dylan Emery, who's from Texas and is an OU fan.
Now, I had a friend of mine. She lived in Tahlequah, Oklahoma.
Wow.
Which is a very small town in Oklahoma. I went there one time.
Nice.
Yeah.
I played the Tulsa Comedy Club multiple times in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I was thrown out of the Oral Roberts University tour with comedian Lewis Black.
That's a badge of honor, sir.
It was beautiful. And there's these other like hardcore Oral Roberts people, and Lewis Black is just mocking the whole tour. Where's the 50-foot Jesus? I want to see the 50-foot Jesus.
Why do you think they call it oral?
Yeah.
Chris, stand by.
Here we go. Hour number 2, 6 o'clock hour.
You ever think Bread had jam sessions?
Very nice.
Just wondered.
Bread. Baby, I'ma want you on a Yacht Rock Tuesday. Andrew Zimmel spinning the tunes for us. He's flying the Millennium Falcon. That's Mr. T. Tim Merriman. We got a lot coming at you in this 6 o'clock hour. And coming up, are you ready for a possible tropical cyclone? That is what they're calling it. It is forming in the tropics. It is forming in the southern Gulf of Mexico. We'll talk about that and more coming up. But first, let's get you caught up on traffic and weather together.
Partly to mostly cloudy skies, a stray shower or thunderstorm possible, highs in the mid-90s. Tomorrow, rain. There is a potential for some flooding rain, highs right around 80 degrees. And then Thursday, cloudy with periods of rain, highs in the mid-80s. 78 degrees in Westover Hills, 78 in Randolph Air Force Base, and 77 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 6:13.
San Antonio's first news on a Yacht Rock Tuesday. Charity McCurdy taking one more day off, extending that 4-day weekend for her birthday weekend. She will be back tomorrow. Brian Gann is in for Charity McCurdy with all the news you need to know. Charlie Parker will bring us Those Were the Days at 6:48. He'll also join us in studio at 8:20. That's Mr. T, Tim Merriman. I'm Chris Duell. Andrew Zimmel not only flying the Millennium Falcon solo, he is directing our live YouTube stream. We're streaming live video on YouTube. Go to 1200 WOAI on YouTube. There's a live video chat there. You can chat with us live and in real time, and also other viewers at the same time. Now, Mr. T, you've been talking about it. It is forming in the lower Gulf of Mexico, down around Mexico and the Yucatan, what could turn into what they are calling a tropical cyclone. That sounds scary to me.
It does sound scary. And here's what a tropical cyclone is. It's a destructive, intense, rotating system that forms over warm tropical or subtropical waters. They are also known as hurricanes or typhoons, Chris.
So is it a hurricane? Now, obviously,
it's not hurricane strength yet.
Okay. So is it a tropical cyclone before it's a hurricane? Can a tropical cyclone turn into a hurricane?
You know, that'd be a question for meteorologist Ray Stajic. We should check in with him coming up at 6:50.
You know, we should get him on the show
we
at
should.
6:50.
Andrew, see if you can get him on at 6:50.
Yes.
That'd be great.
Now, a lot of flooding you mentioned is possible.
Yes.
We talked about this yesterday. Heavy rain in South Texas. I mean, from pretty much the San Antonio area all the way down to the border tomorrow and Thursday. So you've got to exercise lots and lots of caution if you're out and about tomorrow and Thursday.
There's already a flood watch in effect starting at 10 a.m. tomorrow through Thursday, sometime Thursday afternoon.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what, we will get a comprehensive look from one of the best in the business, Weather Channel meteorologist Ray Stajic. That is coming up at 6:50. In the meantime, we're asking you, and we'll hear from you coming up on the free iHeartRadio app on the Talkback feature. The Surgeon General wants a warning label put on social media because it has such a negative impact on kids. Good idea, bad idea? And if so, if we do it, what should that label say? We'll hear from you coming up. WOAI News Time, 6:16.
And we're back.
Jim Ross, do I like Donald Trump? Of course. What's not to love about Donald Trump? And my goodness gracious, you look at the polling right now. I don't know how.
There's no possible way.
Yeah, I don't know how Joe Biden catches up in the polls. We've got a debate. How many days are we away from the debate?
10.
Nine.
Sorry,
Number
nine.
Number nine. Happy birthday, Paul McCartney. I just, barring a huge dramatic turnaround, it looks like Donald Trump will be the president once again. And I do believe this, and a lot of people won't agree with it. I think it is good that the parties go in and out of power. I believe if one party is in power for too long, that's not good. Thank you for that.
No, that's good.
Yeah. Keeping an eye on the news.
Yes. Yes, that's what we're doing. Keeping an eye right on that
And
news.
I thought about this yesterday. What's interesting about this presidential election, you've got a sample of both. You got 4 years of Trump to look at.
That's true.
You've got 4 years of Biden to look at.
Compare them.
You compare. It's like, what do you want? You don't even have to rely on campaign promises. You can say, all right, I've got history. I've got data to look at.
Oh, talkback's coming up, right?
Yes, sir. Jim Ross says Trump is daddy. Who's your daddy?
Trump?
Now, the big question, who will his running mate be?
That is the question.
Our good friend, White House correspondent John Decker, has put it out there for months now that he could pick his son, Donald Trump Jr., to create a dynasty, a legacy. That could happen. Well, I got to tell Patty Larson that we have moved Barry Manilow from 7:10 to 7:50. I'll do that.
It's a better slot.
I'll do that.
It's a better slot.
I think it is.
man.
I agree
It's
with
a better
you.
slot. He said slot. So somebody wants us to give some Aggies a love. Anything about how great they're doing in the World Series, or even mentioning the George Strait concert, record-breaking concert. We did that.
We were all over that yesterday.
Come on, guys. You're talking about the Celtics, but give us some Aggie news. Aggie news here too, please. Thank you. Bye.
What's the name of that?
Carmen.
Yeah, we were all over that George Strait concert yesterday.
We were over before anybody else was. Ooh, spotted lanternflies are ruining the wine industry right now. That's a bummer. I'm glad they don't like beer.
Yeah.
Or barley or hops. Ow.
Stress the plants, decrease vine health, and in some cases lead to plant death.
Oh my God, not plant death.
Yep.
Yeah.
Speaking of wine,
DeChambeau drinks wine from the U.S. Open trophy with Eric Trump. There you go.
there's Eric.
Wow, that's a big bottle of wine. I believe that's a Magnum, isn't it?
My goodness. Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot of wine.
Yeah.
Too much wine.
Happy, joy.
See? You know, you need zippers.
Fox.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, my goodness. We're gonna have to be really tight there with Decker and Ray. That's cool.
Yeah. No, it's if we got to get out. Hang on.
So yeah, given that, when do you want to get out here at the
Hang on.
bottom?
4:15, 25, Chris, 25.
25.
Yes, sir. We should be able to get through these three that I got.
Okay. 3 talkbacks.
Yeah. Just gonna throw it to him, right?
Yes.
Here we go.
Just ahead of headlines, traffic, and weather together on this Yacht Rock Tuesday, as we ask you Should there be warning labels on social media? That's what the Surgeon General wants. But first, Brian Gann in for Charity McCurdy. What stories are you following?
Cloudy this morning, partly cloudy this afternoon. Stray shower or thunderstorm possible, highs in the low to mid 90s. Tomorrow, rain, a potential for flooding rains, highs in the low 80s. Thursday, cloudy with periods of rain, highs in the mid to upper 80s. 78 degrees in Alamo Heights, 78 in Monte Vista, and 77 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 623.
Fourth of July, just around the corner. It is a Yacht Rock Tuesday. San Antonio's first news. We are streaming live video on YouTube, thanks to Andrew Zimmel directing the broadcast. Look for 1200 WOAI on YouTube. And Mr. T, we have been asking the people this morning. We reported yesterday, the Surgeon General wrote an op-ed in the New York Times yesterday demanding a warning label on social media because it is such a detriment to the children of America. So we asked our listeners about it.
Yeah, we're on the Talkback feature available on the free iHeartRadio app. Once you get it, search 1200 WOAI. You'll see the circle with the microphone in it. You got 30 seconds, and you tell us what if you think it's a good idea or a bad idea, and what should it say. Let's go to Kevin.
Good morning. This is Kevin from San Antonio again. So I guess I would say I'm more indifferent on the stance, though I do see the positive aspects of it. It might not necessarily keep people from having your kids be on social media all the time, but it is a constant reminder and will spark conversations, kind of like the warnings on cigarettes. It just makes you aware.
That's a good point.
I'm with Kevin.
That's a good point.
It's not going to do a big thing, but it's going to elevate it in people's minds that, hey, we have an issue here.
And see, I just think that it's taking the power away from the parents. The parents should be the ones regulating their kids on their social media. That's just my thought.
It takes no power away from the parents.
Wow.
It's just a warning. Parents need to exercise their power.
Yeah, but is that where we're at now, that we need somebody else to warn our kids or put a warning on there for our kids, and we can't keep control of our kids?
Parenting well. So yeah, anything we can do to get in their heads. All right. More coming up?
Yeah, more coming up because we got to get to John Decker coming up.
John Decker at 6:40 on Supreme Court rulings that could affect the upcoming election. Charlie Parker at 6:48 with Those Were the Days. WOAI News Time 6:25.
We'll be right back. I agree with you, Dan Anna. Dan Annan. Dana Ann Smith. Yeah, I agree. Badanan. Okay, I like it. Badanan. That's a tough one. Badanan.
Don't bother with warnings. Nobody pays attention anyway. Start using common sense. Examples: Tide Pods, hot coffee at McDonald's. Yeah.
Wait, coffee's hot? Get out. Seriously?
Now, I'm seeing a static shot of the studio. Let me refresh that.
Oh yeah, you got to refresh it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that was the problem.
Yeah, because that was when we walked out.
Okay.
Boy, they're really on that guy. Oh.
Jeff Manasso, everybody.
Smells.
He smells.
Brian smells.
Gonna write Patty Larson. There she is.
Man, we should knock our promo out.
Probably a good idea with the meeting coming. We don't know how long it's going to be.
Yeah, and I'm sure Charlie's got stuff to record too.
Yeah.
Finally, it's another Wembanyama Wednesday tomorrow.
All right. So Decker out at 45?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see what the break looks like after him. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. That'll work. Good thing about it is I'll do just a quick weather.
Okay.
And we'll go straight to Ray after headlines at the 50. So we'll get right to him.
Cool.
God, I'm so glad we didn't have to deal with that.
With what?
Social media when we were kids.
Yeah. Connie Davis.
Yep. 20. It's our tambourine player, isn't it?
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
Barry Davis. No relation to Barry Davis, our drummer.
Well, you know what? We could start rumors, though.
Yes, we could.
They'll think it's kind of like Kristen McVie and John McVie, you know. But no, it won't be. You're going to have to go get them in Mexico like everybody else.
Got to mention here that Decker is a member of the Supreme Court Bar.
But what about the Aggies, Brian? We may have to wait a couple seconds for him.
Okay.
It might be just a little early, which is better than being late.
Yes. Agree with that.
Which you can always front sell Barry Manilow coming up in the 7 o'clock hour.
I think we're...
no, actually 2 Rock and Roll Hall of Famers in the next hour.
Yes.
Thanks, news at the top.
Look at that photo they got over.
I know. That was a great picture, by the way. I loved it. Yeah, here's what we're going to do. I caught us up, man. I moved it. They had one of those San Antonio First News promos before the next break. I moved it up to this break because we're 30 seconds early. This will eat up that 30 seconds.
Okay.
And put us right on time. That way we don't have to go, you know. I know. What's your
viral rant?
Bless America. Come on.
San Antonio's First News. He is Mr. T. Tim Merriman. I'm Chris Duell. Charity McCurdy taking one more day off. She will be back with us tomorrow. Well, the United States Supreme Court has a number of cases to review. A few of them might impact the 2024 election. Let's talk about that with White House correspondent. He is a member of the Supreme Court Bar, John Decker. John, what upcoming Supreme Court cases are you keeping an eye on?
Well, the biggest one has to do with President Trump's claim of absolute immunity from criminal prosecution. We've been waiting for that since that case was argued just a few months ago, and this certainly would have an impact on the 2024 election in that if justices uphold the lower court's ruling, the lower courts have said unanimously that a president does not have absolute immunity from criminal prosecution, then potentially, it would be a very small, narrow window, but potentially Jack Smith could go forward with his case against Donald Trump in the election interference case here in Washington, D.C. So that's the first case that I'm certainly watching that would have an impact on the 2024 election. There's an abortion case as well, abortion for health and emergencies. The Supreme Court will decide what happens when pregnant women show up to the hospital with medical emergencies in states that have strict bans on abortion. And you know how abortion really motivated, energized Democratic voters in the midterm elections. The way the Supreme Court rules here could potentially see that same kind of energy in the 2024 election in November.
So what is the argument for the immunity for presidents or former presidents? What is the argument to justify that?
Well, the argument that Donald Trump and his lawyers made in their oral arguments is that a president should be free to operate in any way that he wishes without fear of prosecution, which would interfere with his duties as president and as commander-in-chief. But as you know, I'm simplifying things right now, but in our country, we operate under this rule that has always been the rule of our country, that no person, no individual is above the law. And that was one of the arguments that was used by the government in arguing against this claim that the president made that he has absolute immunity from prosecution.
So given that, John, that it's been a long-standing tradition in this country that no individual is above the law, if the Supreme Court overturned that lower court decision, I mean, that would be a shocking development, would it not?
It would be a shocking development, and I don't think that they'll do that. I think that what is quite possible, and I attended oral arguments on this case, is sending this case down to the trial court, to the federal district court, to determine what acts are official, what acts are not official, rather than ruling in a broad way that a president does not have or does have immunity from criminal prosecution. That to me seems most likely. And if that happens, if the Supreme Court rules in that manner, it would be almost impossible for that election interference case to occur before November the 5th, when the presidential election is set to take place.
What about the January 6th obstruction charges? Will that be taken up in this session as well?
It will. And that is a case in which one of those individuals who was convicted on one particular count of obstructing an official proceeding is challenging that particular use of the law as it applies to the facts in his case. It would also have an impact on Donald Trump, because 2 out of the 4 federal charges brought against Donald Trump here in Washington, D.C. Concerning that election interference case relies on the interpretation of the law. Now, that law was passed in the wake of, this is a Texas thing, in the wake of Enron and other accounting misdeeds that were taking place in the corporate world. And it really had nothing at all to do with January 6th or that type of proceeding that was taking place with the counting of the Electoral College votes.
And John, given your experience with the Supreme Court, you've been in those chambers so many times. You're a member of the Supreme Court bar, White House correspondent. You've been a witness to history for so long. Looking at the way Supreme Court justices are currently maligned, Clarence Thomas for the gifts that he has accepted, Justice Alito, the controversy with the flag flying upside down, and his wife. Have you seen a time previously since you've been involved where the justices themselves are being questioned so much by the public and by politicians?
Well, people have a short memory. I think that, half of the country questioned, the Supreme Court in the wake of the Bush v. Gore decision back in December of 2000. And that was a very close call, a 5-4 decision by the Supreme Court, ultimately decided essentially by Sandra Day O'Connor. But, I think Americans got over that. I think that these latest incidents that you're referring to that have nothing at all to do with their official duties are troubling for the Supreme Court. And I think it does trouble the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court to see the court that he leads maligned in the manner that it has been maligned based upon unforced errors. These are really unforced errors on the part of the highest justices that sit on the highest court in the land.
Always great insights from White House correspondent, member of the Supreme Court Bar, John Decker. Coming up, we'll take a comprehensive look at this weather. It could be very, very frightening. Weather Channel meteorologist Ray Stajic joins us. Coming right up, WOAI News Time 646.
Hello. Good morning, Eric.
Eric, welcome in. Happy Yacht Rock Taco Tuesday. Amen to that.
Yes, sir. We'll have tacos on the yacht.
That's right, everybody.
Pass me the salsa. Connie. Good morning, Connie.
Connie Chambers, everybody. And did Opelka come in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it did.
That's right. There he is.
Yes, Mike Opelka's here, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Good morning, everybody.
Sonny Melendrez from Magic 105.3.
Good morning, everybody. Yep, there's another one.
Talkback?
No. Violent crime, said every 24 seconds.
Yep.
Ow. Oh, Daryl, I love you, man. He's given me his number system on the Hallmark movies.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I got to forward this to my wife. This is awesome, dude. He's got it. He's got it down, man. Wow, that's great.
Yeah, Eric, autocorrect has driven me crazy so many times. I can relate to that.
Then he left Boston. Oh. Okay. Did you talk to him? He's Jesus, dude, come on. Oh, is that rolling?
It's Roland Brown, everybody.
Beautiful. Thank you.
That's early enough for a possible replay.
Yeah, that's what I told him. Yeah, he's going to record this one too, just in case.
Okay.
I told him it's better to have it than not.
Yeah. Not a bad 840.
You know?
Should you choose. Yeah.
It's not a bad idea because it is big.
Yeah.
And it also keeps.
Yeah. Tommy Miller, Eric, Connie. Tommy, yesterday I went to Taco Palenque. I was going to go to Cabana because Palenque takes a little longer, but it's kind of worth it.
You got in and out, though.
I did. Yeah, about 10.
Yeah.
By the time I got all the salsas, I ordered it and went over to the little salsa bar. By the time I got all the salsas,
they were done.
They were pretty much done. So, yeah. And the one I went 281 North near Evans Road, and it's really close.
Oh, yeah.
It's really close to a Taco Cabana. Taco Cabana must be hating that Palenque came in there after they were there and built a restaurant. I've gotten huevos rancheros from Taco Palenque before. They are spectacular.
We'll have to check that out.
Yeah. Another thing from Brian on the tropical storm.
Oh, cool. Just in time. Mine's not opening. Wow. Okay. Clouds this morning, partly cloudy this afternoon. A stray shower or thunderstorm possible. Highs in the low to mid 90s. It is 77 degrees. WOAI News Time 6:54.
San Antonio's first news. That is Mr. T. Tim Merriman. I'm Chris Duell. And the weather is getting very, very interesting. Should be very, very wet weather Wednesday and Thursday, certainly in South Texas. Let's talk about it with Weather Channel meteorologist Ray Stajic. Ray, I'm hearing a lot about a potential tropical cyclone forming. What is a tropical cyclone?
Well, potential tropical cyclone 1. That was some naming. I believe the Hurricane Center started coming up with it. It may have been last year, but if not, it was only in the last couple of years. And that gives them the opportunity before they have a depression or an actual named tropical storm to put out advisories. And first time for me this hurricane season. So let's run through it. The tropical storm warnings in effect on the Texas coast. Port O'Connor to southward to the mouth of the Rio Grande, the northeastern coast of Mexico, also up to the Rio Grande. So there are tropical storm warnings up. That means tropical storm conditions on the coast within 36 hours. And there's also watches further south and further just northeast of that. So, that's really the first piece of it. We are expecting potential tropical cyclone number 1, though, to become Tropical Storm Alberto as we head through maybe today, if not today, certainly overnight tonight or tomorrow, and strengthen to about a 50-mile-per-hour tropical storm. But it doesn't get real organized, or at least it's not forecast to at this point. And the biggest point I want to make, and I want to make it last, it doesn't really matter, especially in this case, and we always say with tropical systems, where the center is going to go, which is going to be well into the coast of Mexico. We're going to feel direct or indirect effects either way around the circulation. There's kind of these plumes of moisture that are going to come on in, a very expansive area of moisture, and we're going to get some heavy rain here.
And we're under a flood watch from 7 a.m. tomorrow morning through 1 o'clock Thursday afternoon. Remind us, what's the difference between a watch and a warning?
All right, the watch means the potential for flooding. And actually, even here in Bexar County, from the WPC, the Weather Prediction Center, we are painted in pretty decent risk for flooding. So we still get heavy rain, but there's going to be heavier rain to the south. So we're going to be looking at, on average, 2 to 4 inches of rain, less west and north ends going to the hill country, and then more south. But we think tomorrow, especially as the day goes on into the afternoon and early tomorrow night, could be some of the heaviest rain, and that could be when the biggest problems are with some localized flash flooding. So the watch means right now we're at potential. If you get a flood advisory or a flash flood warning, that means flooding imminent or is occurring, and at that point, you do need to seek higher ground. Now, in terms of wind, we'll probably get some gusty winds. And remember, tropical storm force winds start at 39 miles per hour. I really think those are going to be felt more toward the coast. Make it locally windy here. I'm not too concerned about wind damage or power outages or anything like that. Maybe kind of the warm-up for, big concert or something, right? This is kind of the warm-up. This ain't the George Strait 110,000, right? This is the kind of the precursor to, hopefully what we don't see this hurricane season, which is bigger storms. So we do expect rain and impacts. And remember what my message is going to be. Don't necessarily focus on the center, because the center right now is 400 and something miles away from Brownsville, Texas. Wherever the center goes, is going to be into eastern Mexico. Impacts will be felt directly or indirectly. Either way, it's going to increase our moisture. And even if it's not, everybody's going to think it's associated with a storm. So either way, it's going to rain tomorrow, and it's going to rain hard.
And that's such a huge point, Ray, because I'm looking at the cone of probability where Tropical Cyclone 1, soon to become perhaps a Tropical Storm Alberto. It goes into Mexico. I'm looking at that NOAA graphic, and I go, that's south of Texas. We don't have to worry. But you make the huge point. It is such a wide swath of rain coming our way. It is certainly going to inundate us in the San Antonio area.
Correct. I mean, the heaviest rain did shift a little bit further south, but I mean, we're talking 5, 6+ inches of rain. I mean, they're still going to get a few inches, most of us anyway, from about I-35 east and south of that. To the west, we get less. To the north, we get less. To the south, we actually get more. There'll be some that'll get 6+ inches of rain, and also out near the southeast Texas coast.
Always great information. We appreciate it. That is Weather Channel meteorologist Ray Stajic. We will bring him on board tomorrow morning as well as the bulk of this storm comes our way. And if you're making any plans that you have for tomorrow and Thursday, specifically tomorrow, because Ray just said tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow night is when the bulk of this rain is going to hit us.
And he keeps mentioning the heavier rain south and southeast of San Antonio, which is at my house.
Yes.
Great. I'm going to get all the rain. I like the rain, but not 6 inches at a time, though.
Tropical Storm Alberto is targeting Mr. T's house in Floresville. So be very, very vigilant as you make your plans for tomorrow and Thursday. Coming up on Wait Till You Hear This, a very special superstar birthday. Speaking of superstars, Barry Manilow going to join us at 7:50. But right now, it is the top of the hour. In for Charity McCurdy, Brian Gann has all the news you need to know on this Tuesday morning. WOAI news time is 7 o'clock. Woo, we did it. Woohoo.
Okay. I like to call it those were the days, but okay.
Tommy Miller, are you at the coast, man? That's a good place to be.
Yeah, maybe. Especially if you're a surfer.
Yep.
Sorry, guys. I got to do something real quick here.
San Antonio's first news on a Yacht Rock Tuesday. And my goodness gracious, we got a couple of music superstars for you this hour. One is having a birthday, and the other one will join us at 7:50. We'll tell you who they are coming right up. But first, let's get you caught up on traffic and weather together.
Cloudy skies this morning, partly cloudy this afternoon, stray shower, thunderstorm, possible highs in low to mid 90s. Tomorrow, rain. There is a potential for some flooding rains, highs in right around 80 degrees. And then on Thursday, showers early becoming rain, steady rain later in the day, highs in the mid to upper 80s. It is 78 degrees in Lackland Air Force Base, 78 at Westover Hills, and 77 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 7:10.
San Antonio's first news on a Yacht Rock Tuesday. Coming up at 7:50, superstar singer-songwriter Barry Manilow will join us. He's coming to San Antonio on August 15th to the Frost Bank Center, his farewell tour, but he also does amazing things for band students and band directors, and he's going to help some people out in San Antonio. We'll talk about that. 7:40, national correspondent Rory O'Neill. How close is Donald Trump to picking a running mate? 7:20, Mike Opelka from the Pure Opelka podcast. But right now, on a segment we call Wait Till You Hear This, another music superstar is having a birthday today, Mr. T.
Yeah, Sir Paul McCartney turns 82 years old today. So today's edition of Wait Till You Hear This, it's all about Sir Paul. Happy birthday.
1, 2, 3. I saw her standing there. She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. She was a day tripper, made by bag right. Hey Jude, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Get back to where you once belonged. Back in the USSR. It was 20 years ago today. Sergeant Pepper taught the band to play. Live and let die. For the band on the run. Maybe I'm a man. Maybe I'm a lonely man who's in the middle of something. I say it's your birthday.
Prolific, one of the many terms associated with Paul McCartney. You look at what he did with the Beatles and then with Wings.
Yes.
And then since then,
yeah.
his solo career, he's just an amazing hit machine.
I had the album Wings Over America, which is a triple album. And that was in 8th grade, and I would play that album every day before I went to school. I would hear part of that album, I should say. I wouldn't play the whole 3 sides, but I would play that album every day. I loved it that much.
Yeah, I had it on 8-track.
Oh, wow.
Back in the day. And I'm a huge John Lennon fan. He's my favorite Beatle. But I mean, you just look at, and the word was, Paul McCartney was the guy just always driving the rest of the Beatles.
Oh,
let's go, boys. Let's go, lads. Let's do some more music. Harrison and Lennon and Ringo wanted to take a little break and relax a little bit. And Paul was just a taskmaster. He wanted to go and keep creating music.
And that was very evident in Get Back.
Yes.
When you watch that, you saw him. He was definitely always wanting to do something.
Yeah. And that is, to this day, Get Back, 6 to 8 hours of just...
It was worth every hour, every
there
second.
With the Beatles, and you're watching these songs get created from their inception that are now... classics
written on like notebook paper and just turned into something that was a big part of my life.
And what's amazing to me about Beatles music, created in the 1960s and still timeless.
Amen.
I mean, you listen to that stuff today, everything you just played essentially just now.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, this is still outstanding music in the 21st century.
And he's 82 years old.
Mm.
Wow.
Keep on keeping on, Paul McCartney. You know who's 81 years old?
Barry Manilow.
Barry turned 81 yesterday. Barry Manilow. We will be joined by Barry Manilow at 7:50. Lots to talk about with him. Coming right up, Mike Opelka from the Pure Opelka podcast. We love getting his takes on the morning's big stories. That's coming right up. WOAI News Time, 7:14.
All right, we're back, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
We're back.
Tommy Miller, Eric, Connie, 17 people in here at the moment. Good morning, everybody. If we see your name, ooh, look at Cancun.
I know, man. They're going to get hit.
If
too.
we see your name on the chat, we say hello. And I know not everybody chats, and that's okay. So hello anyway. Good morning. Mike Opelka coming right up. Always entertaining.
Yeah, we're going to have plenty of time. Might be able to play two, Chris.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we'll do definitely one for sure, and then we'll react to it.
Okay.
And then we'll get ready for Mr. Opelka. Actually, we got Bell too, so we can do two if we have to.
San Antonio.
I know.
Crosshair
I know.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
So what'd you say about Bell?
We can play her as well. We've
Okay.
got two we can play. We got our teacher and Lytle and Bell.
Okay, yeah. Bell kind of
Yeah.
previews Barry.
What do you mean?
Oh, no, I was thinking about Kemper. No, it's
Kemper,
Bell.
this is
Never
Bell,
mind.
yeah.
Yep.
I was like, what do you mean, huh? Huh? What do you say? Huh? What are you saying? I could play Kemper again. Both of these are on the social media warnings.
Okay. Raccoon break-in at apartment complex.
Yeah. He picked the lock, I'm sure. Because, they're very good at that,
Yeah.
Chris. They're lock pickers. That's why they wear the mask, because they're criminals. Trying to cover their identity. Actually, I believe it's Super Raccoon.
I saw one out here just last week.
I saw one yesterday.
I was going to my car to get, I get my second coffee because I can't carry it all the first time. And he was like looking around the corner and he just stopped and kind of looked at
He's
me.
checking you out, man.
Yeah.
Here we go. Stand by. Free never sounded so good.
Just ahead of headlines, traffic, and weather together, then Mike Opelka from the Pure Opelka podcast. But Mr. T, on our Talkback feature on the free iHeartRadio app this morning, we're asking our listeners, do they like the idea that the Surgeon General has of putting a warning label on social media because it's harmful to kids?
Yeah, and if there is a label, what should it say? Let's go to our favorite school teacher out in Lytle.
Hey, Mr. T and Chris, Stephen from Lytle, your favorite teacher. And social media for kids, there should be a warning label. It should say something like, parents should limit time on social media because children will equate likes as friendship, and they will get a false sense of importance. And it's important that they spend time with real people outside playing around as kids. Have a good day.
That's a good point.
And that's coming from a teacher who works with kids day in and day out. He knows what he's talking about.
Yes, he does. All right, our good friend Bell.
Hey, good morning, Bruce Lee Bell. Yes, I agree 100%. Social media should have labels. But wouldn't that just want to, strike that curiosity chord in these kids, wondering why. Why is there a label? Let me see. Let me check it out. No. They just get curious. I mean, at least that's how I was when I was young. But I don't know. I agree, though, for real. Yes.
It's nice that she did this while she was doing dishes.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Thanks so much for that, Bell. Coming up, Mike Opelka. But first, Brian Gann in for Charity McCurdy. What stories are you following?
Cloudy skies this morning, partly cloudy this afternoon. Stray shower or thunderstorm possible, highs in the low to mid 90s. Tomorrow, rain. There's a potential for flooding rains, highs in the low 80s. Then on Thursday, cloudy with periods of rain, highs in the mid to upper 80s. 78 degrees in Shirt, 78 at Westover Hills, and 77 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 7:21.
San Antonio's first news, weekday mornings at this time. We check in with Mike Opelka from the Pure Opelka podcast. He's brought to us by Randy Adams Incorporated. And Mike, let's start with Paul McCartney's 82nd birthday today. You're a big music guy. Are you a Beatles fan or are you a McCartney fan?
Well, more Beatles than McCartney, but I met Paul twice. Once in a formal interview, and once I bumped into him in Staples in Manhattan. And he came up to me and he goes, "Where's the copy paper? The printing paper?" And I realized I was wearing a red shirt. and he thought I worked there. And I, honest to God, said, "Paul, I work at Z100. We've interviewed you." And he goes, "Oh, but you look like you know."
Funny.
So crazy. Yeah, Paul McCartney and Wings, there are a lot of sins there that can never be forgiven.
Like what?
Do we need to go through the cartoon characters, Magneto, Titanium Man, whatever that was? That was so weird. "We're so sorry, Uncle Albert." It was fun, but come on, Pablo.
I loved Wings Over America, man. It was one of my favorites.
Well, the tour was great. The tour hit was like 76, spring of 76. In Houston, didn't come to San Antonio.
No, it did not come to San Antonio then. Meanwhile, we got a Secret Service agent robbed at gunpoint during Biden's California trip. I mean, they'll just rob anybody in California, won't they?
Well, what worries me is if the Secret Service can get robbed in California, everybody can get robbed in California. At 9:30, wasn't even 10 o'clock at night, and this guy gets a gun in his face and has his bag stolen. What if it was the suitcase, the briefcase with the nuclear codes?
Whoa.
It's really a mess. Just tells you how bad California is these days.
Mike, the Republican National Convention draws nearer, and we still don't yet have a vice presidential running mate yet for Donald Trump. I hear some people talking about Senator J.D. Vance of Ohio. When do you think the announcement will be made, and who would you like to be the VP candidate?
I have not made it a secret. I love Byron Donalds. I think he is the future of the Republican Party. I've talked to him several times. Smart guy, came out of banking. And also, Chris, what we have to do is in the math. You can't make the selection of a VP hurt the party in Congress. So Donalds is in the reddest district in the reddest state in the country. If he leaves, there will be an automatic Republican replacement. Whereas if Marco Rubio's the choice, That's a Senate seat that could be up for grabs because Florida has interesting Senate votes. And if J.D. Vance is the choice, that's an Ohio Senate seat that could be up for grabs. So you have to look at the political chess on this. For me, Byron Donalds makes the most sense, but I wouldn't be mad if it were Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Whoa. So, Mike, if I'm, say, visiting Colorado and flying back, am I allowed to bring my edibles on the plane?
I'm not a lawyer. I'm not in Colorado. And I will tell you that based on the current situation with the federal status of marijuana, it'd be best to consume everything you purchase before you get on the plane. I'm just saying.
And you'll have one heck of a nap, man.
The laws change from state to state. So does the application. So carry and fly, air quotes intended, at your own risk.
You can get more Mike Opelka from his Pure Opelka podcast. Get it wherever you get your podcasts. We recommend the free iHeartRadio app. Another episode will drop this morning. You don't want to miss it. Mike is brought to us by Randy Adams Incorporated. Coming up at 7:50, Barry Manilow joins us. But before that, at 7:40, national correspondent Rory O'Neill will talk about running mate choices for former President Donald Trump. That and a lot more coming up. WOAI News Time, 7:25.
Okay. That was fun.
Woohoo!
That was fun.
Woohoo!
I laughed, I cried. Okay. Good morning. Good morning.
Connie says, why waste your time with labels? Kids will check it out regardless. Just like Bell said, it's called parenting.
Amen.
And the problem, though,
Amen.
so few parents are parenting the way they should.
Yeah, they expect a label to parent their kids. And I agree, though, that if, like Bell said, if you told me not to do something when I was a kid, I want to know why and going to try it just because you told me not to.
Correct.
And like the warning labels on albums, I don't think it ever did anything. I don't think it changed anybody's minds. I don't think it changed anything.
Good morning, M1A1. Welcome in. I'm going to take another hit. I brought it today.
Excuse me.
Really excited we got to talk to Manilow. Favorite.
Oh, cool.
I was going to ask him about
Damn
it.
We should have brought that
know
up
I
with
should.
him.
I started to, but then he would say, ask him this. You know? Did he say? Did you tell him we did it yesterday?
Time for a hit of cold and flu.
High blood pressure.
High blood pressure,
So
which
wait,
I have.
I was going to say, does it give you high blood pressure or is it good for if you have high
It's
blood
good-
pressure?
It's good for. Apparently, this really Dayquil and Nyquil really elevates your blood
Yes,
pressure.
They do.
And if you've got high
Yes.
blood pressure, it ain't good.
Because my wife
I've
has
got
high blood pressure and she
Yeah.
has to take the non-high blood pressure, you know, that like that.
And I get the Walgreens brand because
We get
I'm
the HEB.
cheap.
We get the HEB brand because it's the same thing, and you're just paying for a label.
Right.
It's the same. If you look at the ingredients, they're like it's probably made in the same factory.
Probably is.
You know. You know what I'm saying. You know.
Cheers.
Look at that, Chris doing shots here on the morning show.
This Dayquil's for you. Thank you very
Chris
much.
doing Dayquil shots on the morning show. Hey, pass that bottle over here. Pass me a bottle, Mr. Jones.
Or Mrs. Jones. Me and Mrs. Jones.
We got a thing going on.
Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones.
We got
a thing going on.
Me,
Bad thing now, I got to rinse that out, or it'll just be sticky. And who needs that?
It does stay sticky. So coming up on the Joe Pag Show today,
Hey,
it's
everybody.
Hunter Biden's baby mama.
Baby mama, everybody.
Baby mama. Hunter Biden's baby mama on the Joe Pag Show today. You want to check it out, you know what I'm saying? Bye, Chris. Chris had to go rinse his shot glass out. See, that's what I say, Travis. Just chug that stuff, man. Yeah, it is yuck, but I mean, I would just drink it out of the bottle. I mean, measuring's for, Come on. Do you really think that dosage is the right amount? See, I think that's just a suggestion, not a rule. Yeah, Travis says, why use the measuring cup? Just swig it out of the bottle like a whiskey bottle.
Yeah, I should have done that. That's a much better idea.
Because I think that cup is just a suggestion, Chris.
Yes, exactly.
It's not a required dose.
And Terrence McKenna says, always take a heroic dose. You want a heroic dose.
I agree with him.
Yeah.
Wholeheartedly. Still think it's just a suggestion, Connie. How do they know? They don't know what it takes to get me healthy. And I always overdose with the NyQuil because I want to go to sleep for a long time. Good morning, Kay. Yeah, if you want to say like junkies, I just think that the medicine works if you take enough of it.
Woohoo! Good morning, Kay. Welcome in.
I think Connie called me a junkie.
Connie called you a junkie?
Because I said I OD on the NyQuil.
Yeah.
I always overdose on NyQuil. Which is nothing wrong with that, man.
NyQuil. I did NyQuil last minute.
Oh my God.
Knocks you out.
Go down, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll knock you out, man. Yeah, Mama said knock you out. Oh.
So 45 out or a 44 out?
Let me look at the spot.
With Barry coming up.
Good question.
Happy, joy.
You know what? We could split the difference. Go 24-30.
44-30?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll work.
Cool. Sounds good.
Yeah, that'll make sure that we have enough time. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
See what I'm saying? See, what you remember? You know what I'm saying? Barry. What? Oh, look. Thursday, they're going to Rockwood Field where the Negro Leagues used to play and play.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that coming up. I meant to bring that up. But, hey, it's not till Thursday. Okay, we're back. Sorry.
Welcome, Sleepy. Sorry about the computer problem, Sleepy.
Yeah, that's nothing worse. Well, there's a lot worse, I should say, but it sucks. Still waiting on Rora. That still sucks, man. You seriously don't want to go anywhere anymore?
No.
It really is.
And was that the Juneteenth celebration?
Yes.
God.
And they had nothing to do with the altercation that happened. That's what I don't like. People, if you're going to carry a gun, learn how to use it.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yes, we have no Galitos.
We have no Galitos today.
What is a Galito? Because we
Good
don't have
question.
any.
No, no Galitos.
We have no Galitos.
No.
Is there a C Galitos?
There could be.
No Galitos. Now that we've just butchered the Spanish language, Chris.
That's right.
Time to move on. Let's start with Mandarin. Weather.
Still no Rory?
No Rory.
No Rory.
Still no Rory.
Still no Rory.
We have no Galitos either. No Rory, no Galitos.
And no bananas.
Okay, seriously? All right, Rory's officially late now.
Okay.
We're going to have to dock him. Sorry.
Yeah.
There he is.
San Antonio's first news on a Yacht Rock Tuesday. Coming up at 7:50, legendary singer-songwriter Barry Manilow. He's coming to San Antonio on August 15th to the Frost Bank Center. Also doing some great work for music students and music teachers and schools. We'll dive into that with Barry Manilow coming up. But right now, let's check in with national correspondent Rory O'Neill. Rory, the Republican National Convention is drawing nearer, and former President Donald Trump has yet to pick a running mate. What do you know about this, and when might we get the choice?
Yeah, we've got the convention is a month from today. That's when it kicks off in Milwaukee. We've got the debate a week from next Thursday, but no running mate yet for the former president. He's still on schedule. There's no rule that's set in stone, but there's an awful lot of speculation, especially as these dates are drawing near. Politico has the top three contenders all being U.S. Senators, J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, and Tim Scott. Now, personally, I would take Marco Rubio off that list. Personally, this is an opinion. I think he's more interested in being Secretary of State than Vice President. And if I'm going to stick to top three, then I'll slide in Doug Burgum's name there in that top three, the North Dakota governor. Many say that Trump and Burgum just get along well. And so then you have to say, well, are you making a VP pick based on the November election or how the two people can work together after January 20th?
Could it be that the former president Donald Trump's waiting for the convention to make his announcement?
Could be. I mean, it's not uncommon to have the announcement made at the event itself. But, don't forget, you're also going to have, again, the debate coming up. His sentencing is in the meanwhile for that criminal case out of New York. So that's going to be, turning things a bit upside down in this. He may want to make that announcement, to draw attention away from whatever sentence he may be facing.
I notice, Rory, J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, Tim Scott, Doug Burgum, all male. Any thoughts on a female pick? Maybe Sarah Huckabee Sanders, the governor,
Arkansas.
Yeah. She was an early contender, but fell out. Kristi Noem was also in the mix, and then her book came out with the dog, and that ended her campaign. Elise Stefanik, the congresswoman from New York, a very vocal supporter of Donald Trump, but some say, is she ready for the big chair? And God forbid if something were to happen. So. But there are. Joni Ernst is also someone who's been talked as a potential running mate. But you also have to find someone who isn't going to outshine Donald Trump. I think that's something that really says more about his ego. I think Burgum is. I think I get a very similar vibe to Mike Pence from Burgum. They seem about the same, and I think Trump may go for someone who might just be a bit more happy in that number two position. I think J.D. Vance may take a bit of that spotlight away from Donald Trump.
Do you think the former president knows who his VP is going to be, or is he still making up his mind?
I think he's still making up his mind. He's open to ideas, I think.
All right. Our thanks to national correspondent Rory O'Neill. And Mr. T, we talked about this yesterday. I think he's waiting all the way until the convention.
Yeah.
Donald Trump is the master of ratings, the master of making a big splash. Why reveal this before the convention when you can?
Yeah,
have a big centerpiece of the convention.
Because the convention, we already know who the Republican nominee is going to be, so that would be the only announcement that could fire up that crowd.
The big announcement, the big mystery. All right, coming up, we are excited. Legendary superstar Barry Manilow. He is coming to San Antonio on August 15th to the Frost Bank Center, and he's coming to this radio program next. WOAI News Time 744.
All right, we're back.
Woohoo!
Mike Opelka. Jita Badu. Nah, I don't think he would do that. He could.
Yeah.
But
I think he's going to make a big splash. It's going to be a big reveal.
According to this, Texas coach could see the first name storm of the season.
Alberto.
Or, Albert.
Al.
Al.
You can call me Al. Call me Al.
Hey, Al. Oh, baby, come back.
Sleepy, I didn't see that question. Yeah, Barry Manilow is coming right up, the interview. We actually recorded it yesterday after the show. And we're going to podcast the entire interview a little bit later.
Yeah, the extended dance mix.
Yes.
It's a lot of EDM to Barry Manilow music. We've jazzed up some of his songs to make this electronic dance music, or EDM for all the kids. And baby, come back. Yeah, see, I don't understand that, man. Breaking the bank to go to Disney World. Come on, man. I miss Astro World.
Astro World, yeah.
Yeah, I love that place. Spent a lot of time there. Six Flags in Texas also, in Dallas also, but
that was
Astro
cool.
World was closer.
Yeah.
Professional. Baby, come back.
Sleepy was a big fan of Astro World.
I loved it, man. We were there one time with a church, and me and my buddy Glenn were, waiting close to the gate when everybody was getting ready to leave. And this people come walking by us, and there's this really tall redhead with real short hair. Annie Lennox, man. The Eurythmics were playing a show that night at Astro World, and they walked right by us. Her and Dave Edmonds. I was like, hey, man, that was a chick from the Eurythmics, man. I walked right by us, man. Yeah, that was kind of cool. You got to throw it to Brian, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then afterwards, we can tell, all right, we did more with them, but if you catch that after the show at San Antonio's First News.
Yes.
Yeah. WOEI.com, the podcast, you can get it. Apparently, I need to go fishing today.
It is National Go Fishing Day.
Got any sevens?
There you go. Nice. Go fish.
Okay.
San Antonio's first news, Peg, Steely Dan. It is a Yacht Rock Tuesday, but coming up, Barry Manilow joins us. But first, Brian Gann in for Charity McCurdy. What stories are you following?
Partly cloudy today, a stray shower, thunderstorm possible, highs in the low to mid 90s. Tomorrow, rain. There is a potential for flooding rains, highs in the low 80s. Thursday, cloudy with periods of rain, highs in the mid to upper 80s. 78 degrees at City Base, 78 in Terrell Hills, and 77 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 7:51.
He is an international superstar. He is coming to San Antonio. His farewell to San Antonio at the Frost Bank Center on August 15th. He is the one and only Barry Manilow. Barry, two things. Number one, I am a fan-alo. And number two, yesterday was your birthday. So for Mr. T and me, happy birthday, Barry.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for being a fan. And I'm not so sure. Thank you for wishing me happy birthday. I'm 100 years old.
No. No. And what I love, Barry, is you got to be loving this birthday because the last year and a half has just been spectacular for you. The residency at the Westgate Las Vegas, setting the record for most performances at Radio City Music Hall. I love everything you're doing right now.
Yeah, and you know, I don't mean to brag, but we just sold out a month at the London Palladium. I just got back from London.
And Barry, this thing that you're doing, I love this, by the way, the Manilow Music Project, because there are a lot of schools that had to cut their music budget and they don't have the money for instruments. How did this come about?
Somebody down in where I live in Palm Springs, they asked me if I could find the sax for his daughter, because she wanted a sax. Because they haven't got any sax in her school. I said, they haven't got a sax in her school. And when I started, and I got her a sax, but when I started looking into it, they're running, the government stopped funding music and arts in all the high schools. So these music schools, they're all looking for instruments, and the kids are playing these instruments that are 40 years old, and yet they still love their music classes. And so, we start to give them as many schools as we can, and we start to just give them as many instruments as we can, and we do it all year long. We've been doing it for 15 years. They tell me that we've given about $10 million of instruments to all around the country.
Wow. And Barry, great news for San Antonio. On this tour, the Manilow Music Project is giving away $170,000 for local high school bands and their music directors. And I know you're coming to San Antonio on August 15th to the Frost Bank Center, and through the Manilow Music Project, local high schools and their directors can apply and can get these funds to bring these instruments to local area high schools.
Yes, that's right. I'm not sure, but tell me if I'm right. Are we picking? I think we're picking the kids' favorite music teacher out of all the schools in your vicinity. They're picking their favorite music teacher, and I introduce them in the middle of the show.
That's exactly how it works, Barry. And speaking of the show, I have to ask you this because you've got so many hits. How do you pick a set list out of all these songs? If you played all your hits, you'd be playing for days.
Yeah, I do, and they love it, and I love doing it. Yeah, I do. We do a big show, and most of them. Listen, I'm a lucky guy. I've got a catalog of songs that can fill up over 90 minutes. And all these songs people recognize. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, and Barry, I go all the way back to the 1970s with your music. I'm going to be 64 years old. And I remember the Barry Manilow Live. I had it on 8-track. I go all the way back to 8-track with you, Barry.
You're great. Thank you. Thank you. But, that album really went crazy. I think it was one of the first live albums for a younger generation, and that was the album I did the VSM, the Very Strange Medley, my commercials medley.
Yes, I know, and I love that. And how did that come about? How did you decide that, hey, I can write some jingles? Because it's been a part of my life since I was a kid. I remember almost every one of them that you had something to do with. How did that come about?
Well, somebody called me, an agent called me, because I was starting to get a reputation as being a writer and a piano player. And they asked me if I wanted to go up for a commercial, because a lot of guys were going up for the same commercials. And if you got it with your melody, then you made some money on it. And so everybody tried to get the United Airlines commercial or the Kentucky Fried Chicken. And so I went up for a Dodge commercial, and I got it on my first pass. So that's what started the whole thing.
He is the great Barry Manilow. He's coming to San Antonio August 15th to the Frost Bank Center. There is more, Mr. T, to our interview with Barry Manilow.
Yeah, we're time restricted on the air, but yesterday we spent about 10 minutes with him.
Yeah.
And so the extended dance mix, as we like to call it, will be available after the show on our podcast section on WOAI.com.
Yeah, go listen. There's a lot more Barry Manilow.
Yeah, it was fun, man.
Props to our good friend and the biggest Fanilow I know, Patty Larson, very helpful in getting us the interview with Barry Manilow. So thank you, Patty.
It was fun. I enjoyed myself, and he was just a great guy to be around.
Love that guy. From one legend to another, Uncle Charlie. Charlie Parker will be in studio at 8:20, and coming up at 8:10, national correspondent Aaron Real. What if they made taking all of your vacation time mandatory? We will explore that coming up. WOAI News Time, 7:57.
That was cool.
Yeah.
I laughed, I cried.
Woohoo!
Well, how cool is that? Kay got to sit next to Ron White.
Very nice. I opened for Ron White a number of times at River Center Comedy Club and at the Tulsa Comedy Club. Very good guy, Ron White. There's an old story when Ron White was a struggling comedian.
Yeah.
His wife, I believe, got cancer. And he didn't have a lot of money. He was a struggling comic, but he was working with Jeff Foxworthy, who was making a lot of money at the time. Foxworthy said, "Send me the bills, whatever they are. I'll take care of it."
No wonder he was so loyal to him.
And he did. Yeah, that's that. I remember that story from
that is cool.
Back in the day.
That is cool.
Oh, and Ron White has gone down to Costa Rica to do ayahuasca. The kids tell me ayahuasca is a psychoactive brew that was indigenous to the Amazon basin for over 1,000 years.
You know, that sounds like Ron White.
Yeah.
I got to be honest with you.
According to the kids, when you imbibe ayahuasca, you commune with the plants, and apparently some people can talk with God. I don't know if Ron White did or not. He was talking about ayahuasca on the Joe Rogan show.
Oh, was he really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So.
Cool. I like Ron White, man.
Oh, so do I.
Of all the redneck, you know, the what do you call it, the blue collar comedy guys?
Yeah.
He's the funnest one.
And
man.
he was a great guy on and off the stage when you worked with him.
He was fun, man.
Not every comic is very
don't
nice.
tell me that. Don't ruin
stage.
my.
I don't want to
come on,
mention
Chris.
any names. Pauly Shore, J.J. Walker. But the point is,
Pauly Shore. Can you really call him a comedian?
No.
I mean, seriously.
No,
just because his mom owned
he's
a comedy.
Mitzi Shore's kid.
Exactly.
He's Mitzi Shore's.
Now, J.J. Walker, that's surprising.
I was surprised.
I'm very surprised because I remember when he came in for the, we were searching the national search for a talk show host to replace Carl Wigglesworth. He was always nice to me.
There you go.
Of course, I was bringing him his lunch every day, so that had a lot to do with it, I'm sure.
Something to do with it. Yeah.
Yeah, no wonder he was nice to me.
All right. I will be right back. I'm going to get ready for Aaron Rial and Charlie Parker in studio. You don't want to miss it.
College World Series talk. The Aggies will get some love. Yeah. The Aggies will get some love. And Hunter's baby mama on the Joe Pag show.
Woohoo! Charlie Parker will join us in studio coming up at 8:20, although he'll walk in here probably a little before that. You can see him on these cameras. Andrew Zim will be sure to cut to the wide angle. I'm sure he will when Charlie Parker is here. Whew.
Oh, wow.
All right. Well, I hope he enjoys Aaron Real.
Well, too bad. I think it's a good story, though.
Say what?
I think it's a good story.
Yeah, it's a good story.
How come people aren't using their vacation? Maybe their bosses put a moratorium on them, and you can't.
That could be. Man, 2 UTSA
I
athlete
know. I mean,
arrests.
that's just horrible.
Not good.
Jeff Traylor, not a happy man.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Nice
Wow.
mugshot.
Wow. Yeah, I want to know what this one got arrested for. I know the other one was robbery.
Express News had that. Let me see if I can find it.
Mm. Didn't he tell us we're supposed to talk about this today?
Yes, we are. I don't
Last
know where.
segment
I guess so.
for the end of the show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Second UTSA football player charged with aggravated robbery.
Same thing then.
Yeah.
I wonder if they were together.
Could be.
Huh.
Corey Lucius Jr., 19 years old, freshman redshirt linebacker.
Wow.
4 days earlier, teammate Nick Booker Brown taken into custody on the same felony charge. The alleged incident was in February, single incident. So they were together.
Wow. In February, right after the season.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good reason
Court
why
records
we
for
should
both
have
men
longer
list the date
football
of
season.
offense as February 3rd.
We need to have more games.
Tall one.
She was texting her friends that, hey, I just heard Barry Manilow on San Antonio's
can
first
you
news.
believe that? Lucius is a redshirt freshman from Tampa, Florida.
Ah, okay.
He did not appear in any games for UTSA last year.
Wow. 8:20, Charlie. Not 8:07.
Not good, UTSA.
Mm-mm.
Not a good look.
Jeff Traylor cannot be happy.
Nope. What's happening?
What's happening, Pete?
Nothing.
Yeah, so let's go short with her.
That's fine. There's not much to ask her about
Yeah.
this, but I find this very fascinating. Why don't people take their vacation?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, stupid.
Well, maybe their bosses, put moratoriums and blackout dates on their vacation and not giving you the days that you want off. It's
You should ask her
possible.
that. Is the problem?
It's a problem with the managers.
A yacht rock Tuesday on San Antonio's First News. Charlie Parker is back from the coast. He's in studio. He'll be with us at 8:20 to talk College World Series and last night's NBA championship for the Boston Celtics. Coming right up, national correspondent Aaron Real. Should time off be mandatory for employees? We'll dive into that and more coming right up. But first, let's get you caught up on traffic and weather together.
Partly cloudy today. Stray shower, thunderstorm possible. Highs in low to mid 90s. Tomorrow, rain. There is a potential for flooding rains. Highs in the low 80s. Thursday, cloudy with periods of rain. Highs in the mid to upper 80s. 75 in New Braunfels, 78 in Schertz, and 77 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 8:10.
San Antonio's first news, Charlie Parker, coming right up at 8:20. But right now, the vast majority of Americans never take all of the vacation time they have accrued, yet many people are feeling burned out. What's going on here? And is there a move to force people to take all of their vacation? Let's talk about it with national correspondent Aaron Real. Aaron, I am not the vast majority of Americans. I take every single vacation day I can get, but apparently I'm rare these days.
Yeah, that's because you're smart. Do that. Don't stop doing that. I don't think this is a bad thing at all, but apparently Americans don't want to do it. We see that only 8.7% of employers actually require that you take time off, like mandatory time off. This is very small relative to other countries. And the average worker took 15 paid days off, yet 45% of us say that we feel burned out. That is a big disconnect. So why is this happening and what can be done? We learned that the unlimited paid time off isn't great. That really didn't work as well as people thought it might. People ended up doing one of two things. They either didn't take enough time off, or they were terrified to take time off and didn't do it, or they took all the days and abused it badly. So this is not what you want either. You need to find an equal ground where you can take the time off, have your company come back recharged. And one of the things that's being discussed in many sectors now is blackouts. So essentially the whole company goes dark for a week, whether it be over July 4th or Christmas and New Year's. These tend to have big return on investment in terms of productivity outputs shortly after it's employed.
So if there's a push to make time off mandatory, how would that be enforced? In other words, if your company didn't let you take time off, would they get fined or something?
So on a federal level, there is no federal law that says an employee needs to provide paid time off. But yes, they could be fined if it becomes a federal law. But more than that, it's like best practices, because there's a couple jobs like pilots and air traffic controllers and trucking. They do have mandatory time off by law, and that's good. They're controlling large pieces of equipment. But for the most part, it's more just productivity output. And are you getting it if you don't allow your people time off? And if you are allowing them time off and they don't take it, how do you encourage it? Well, if the whole company is off, and I mean the whole company, then there's nowhere to go. You have to go take your time off. And that tends to pay dividends in terms of productivity and output.
So, Aaron, what is the reason why most Americans don't use all their time off? Do they have too much work to do and they don't want to fall behind? Are they concerned they might lose their job if they're away from their job? What's the reasoning behind this?
All of the above. You just name them all. And then beyond that, it's also like a habitual thing. Some people get stuck in these patterns, and just taking even a little bit of time off it feels wrong, and they don't feel comfortable doing it, which is why, again, like, what's the point of having time off if you're not going to have people take it? So encouraging folks to take the time off, it ends up helping the company. And then not only the company, it ends up helping the employee do quite well, because they don't feel burnout. They're less likely to quit, and they're less likely to cause problems.
Makes total sense. National correspondent Aaron Real coming up. Charlie Parker is in studio. His thoughts on the College World Series, the Boston Celtics championship, and more. WOAI News Time, 8:14.
So too windy, huh? Too windy for fishing, huh? Every day, or just a day? You just went out one day?
No, we didn't even go out.
Oh, you didn't go out because it was that windy? Holy crap. Did you go in the water?
Really didn't even come down.
Did you go in the water at all?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, how was it?
Water was pretty decent.
Was it warm,
clean.
cool?
It was warm.
Okay. Yeah, that's why that storm's happening. That cyclone, the storm or the tropical cyclone.
It was that place is just too
crowded. Even during the week.
Oh, well, Thursday and
well,
Friday.
that's kind of a weekend though. You know,
Yeah.
people make that a long weekend though. So yeah.
And I'm still amazed at the stupid ass people driving around. Toddlers in the back of their golf carts, not strapped in.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
There's got to be a law for that against that.
I think
there has to be.
No, I guess there's not because they're all.
I see them all over the place down even in South Padre. They're everywhere.
Yeah,
everywhere. That and those.
Well, I know, but I'm talking about not strapped.
Yeah,
they're too
none of
little
them.
to be riding in those things.
Well,
you got nothing to protect you.
Yes.
Nope. And they drive on the streets with cars. You know, it's like, come on. You know, if you're driving on the streets with cars.
And I still say we already know that the majority of the population is already stupid.
Oh yeah.
But once you get on that island, your IQ drops another 50
And you're
points.
drunk, and people are drunk because they're
well,
partying.
that has a lot to do with it. I think alcohol plays a big part in that. Yes. Okay, that's better.
I haven't seen a bad baseball game yet.
Oh no.
They've all been good.
What was
games.
it? What 3 out of the first 4 extra innings? I believe that's what
walk-offs.
Yeah, walk-offs.
They were
Well, yeah, it could have gone extra innings, but yeah.
Some did.
No, it's been good. It's been real good. I was pulling for Kentucky, but since they got beat,
They're still alive.
I know they're still alive, but man, I was hoping they could still move on, but I was hoping better things from them. So good.
Just ahead of headlines, traffic, and weather together, Charlie Parker in studio. Lots to talk about with Charlie coming right up. At first, Brian Gann in for Charity McCurdy. What stories are you following?
Partly cloudy today, stray shower and thunderstorm possible, highs in the mid-90s. Tomorrow, rain, potential for flooding rains, highs in the low 80s. Thursday, cloudy with more rain, highs in the mid to upper 80s. 78 degrees in Alamo Heights, 78 degrees at Lackland Air Force Base, and 77 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 8:19.
San Antonio's first news, Yacht Rock Tuesday. Todd Rundgren, he was just in town a little over a week ago. Charlie Parker is in studio, back from the coast. How was your coastal experience, Charlie?
It was wonderful, except for the fact that it was too windy to go fishing.
Bummer.
So no fishing. I was surprised. At first, I was kind of freaked out that my granddaughter, who's 3 months old, spent 3 days or 3 hours on the beach Friday and 3 hours on the beach Saturday.
Wow.
And the whole time I'm going, what's going on? In this, there's body temperature and still have, air temperature to deal with and that kind of thing. But they've got so many. We've talked about this.
All the stuff they have.
Toys. Fans that hook onto things and, little crib-like deals you can carry around and put the fan on. And then you got like a temperature gauge. You can see what their body did. It was crazy.
Wow.
It was a really, really good time. I'm still amazed at the stupid people that drive around with toddlers or young children on their golf carts. They're
Damn
not
golf carts.
strapped in. And, our house that we stayed at was on a corner with a 4-way stop. And I would sit out there in the morning and drink my coffee and I'd watch them go. And I don't know, 9 out of every 10 cars just roll into,
just go through the stop sign?
California stop. Just roll right through I don't know. But it was a good time. Good time.
Was it crowded? Because you went on a Thursday?
Extremely crowded.
Yeah.
Extremely crowded. I've got some tricks that I will not divulge.
Don't tell me. Because I know your tricks. So, yes.
Yeah, how you can avoid the crowds. Before we get into the Celtics winning last night in the Stanley Cup final, resuming tonight, and the College World Series, I saw something I have never seen. I've seen some crazy stuff. But that road that runs through Corpus Christi from Port Aransas up to 37, that 20-mile stretch. We're driving on Sunday morning coming back, and there's a car, and it's up in front of us, and it's kind of weaving a little bit here and there. Well, not weaving, drifting.
Okay.
So they're texting. And I told Eve, I go, look at that. I guarantee you that's a woman. Well, what does it have to do? I'm not being sexist. I do personal research.
Yes.
And 7 out of 10 of those situations are women in the car texting while they're driving. I said, let's get around her. So I went around on the left, because that's how you're supposed to pass, is on the left. And I looked over. This woman had in her left arm, an iPad.
Oh, man.
Not a phone.
Man.
iPad. Opened up, leaned against the steering wheel in the crook of her left arm with her elbow on, the door panel.
And she's
typing.
Wow.
An iPad. Wow. Not a phone.
Wow.
I thought I had seen it all.
Yeah.
And now I think that I pretty much have.
Man.
It was, the world's crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is.
Okay, here we go in sports. Boston Celtics beat Dallas last night. No surprise. 18th championship for the Celtics, more than anybody. MVP was Jaylen Brown. Stanley Cup final is tonight. Edmonton at Florida. Florida up 3-1. Saturday night was just a fun game to watch.
8-1.
8 goals.
That's the
scored by
equivalent of
Edmonton.
beating somebody by 60 in the NBA, right? Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, worse.
Yeah, worse probably, yes.
College World Series. Texas A&M are 2-0 after beating Kentucky last night.
Gig 'em.
So here's and Florida yesterday was a winner over North Carolina State. Virginia and North Carolina State have gone home.
Yes, they have.
Aggies, Tennessee are both 2-0. Kentucky, Florida State, Florida, North Carolina all have 1 loss. 2 of those 4 teams are going home today.
Mm-hmm.
North Carolina State plays Florida State in an elimination game at 1. Kentucky and Florida, 6 o'clock in an elimination game. Tomorrow, Tennessee will play the winner of today's North Carolina, Florida State, and Texas A&M tomorrow night will play the winner of Kentucky and Florida.
Wow.
Now, last week I mentioned that that it's double elimination until you get to that championship game, and then it's just 1. Well, it's not correct. I'm wrong. The finals are back to being best 2 of 3.
It's best of 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Beginning Saturday and Sunday and Monday if necessary. And my favorite story in sports is Les Miles, former coach at LSU.
Yes.
Most recently with Kansas and started at Oklahoma State, is suing the university, Louisiana State University, because of some self-imposed vacating of wins. Some violations by the NCAA. The school self-imposed penalties, and among those self-imposed penalties was vacating 37 wins by LSU when Les Miles was the head coach.
Well, he's got a case then.
I don't think so.
I do.
They do whatever they want to do. The reason he is doing that is because to get into the College Football Hall of Fame as a coach, you have to win. You have to have a winning percentage of 600 or better.
Okay. With
you
those
take
losses,
those 37 away, he's like at 590 something.
Oh man!
So he's claiming, why are you picking on me or whatever. Bottom line here is you also have to be nominated by one of the schools you coached at. Oklahoma State hasn't nominated
No,
him.
they haven't.
LSU hasn't nominated him. Kansas hasn't nominated him.
And let's just say
so he's not even right now even nominated for the college.
With this
Football Hall of
lawsuit,
Fame.
you can just count LSU out. They're never going to nominate him.
Yeah, you sue an employer.
Yeah, you're suing them. That's not going to happen.
That's a pretty safe bet.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he's Hall of Fame material.
Well, if nobody's nominated him, you're not the only one.
He's a little above middle of the road. He's not Bear Bryant. He's not Darrell Royal. He's not. I mean, he's
I'm
better
sure
than average.
He certainly won at least a championship at LSU. Didn't
Yes.
he?
Yeah, he was a big deal there for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, go ahead and cry, Les.
All
Nobody
right.
likes you anyway.
Our thanks to Charlie Parker. Brian Gann in for Charity McCurdy. He's got all the stories you need to know about on this Tuesday morning. Joe Pags with a preview of the Joe Pags Show, and we'll get a comprehensive look at your weather with Weather Channel meteorologist Ray Stajic. It's going to get very, very wet tomorrow. WOAI News Time, 8:26. Justin Timberlake has been arrested. He is in custody in the Hamptons.
Or?
Let's find out. DWI related charges.
Oh, okay. In the Hamptons. What do you expect?
Yeah.
Come in. Although you're Justin Timberlake, you can afford a driver.
Exactly. Good point.
You know, you can afford your own damn driver, Ubers, whatever. You can do Uber Black if you want.
There you go.
Maybe we do this instead of the weather.
Yeah. It's breaking news.
Yeah.
And it's pop culture.
Yeah.
Okay. Kay, I'm so sorry to hear about your cousins. That's a horrible story. I'm so sorry.
What happened?
I had 2 cousins killed at Port A last month.
Oh my God.
By a drunk driver.
You know, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
All right. So no Ray Stadrick. That'll keep us on time anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll just say, hey, breaking news.
Yeah.
And by the way, Ray Stadrick's going to let you know that it's going to be raining. We can mention that.
Yeah, the breaking Justin Timberlake news. DWI charges in the Hamptons. My God.
I don't get it.
What's this world coming to?
I don't get it, Chris. Guy can afford to have his own car. You buy another car and have a driver.
A car, a driver.
It's ridiculous.
Well, Kay, I am glad that driver is still in jail. It's just so awful.
No kidding. Throw the
Yeah,
button.
we especially in the era of Uber and Lyft and so many other options. And even if it weren't, we need to crack down on DWI in a big. It's like, you know what? If you're going to drink, you either don't go out, you designate a driver,
or you hire one.
Or you hire one, or you get an Uber. You just don't do it.
Now, according to TMZ, Chris, the former NSYNC singer was pulled over almost immediately after getting behind the wheel of his car following a night out with friends at a local hotel.
So was he targeted?
That's,
So if CP walks back in, then since we're doing this.
There he is.
We're shifting gears. Justin Timberlake has been arrested in the Hamptons on DWI charges. We'll kind of just react to that.
Can't do that.
No.
Let
me see if there's something on Twitter about that.
I'm on page 6.
Okay.
I clicked on it from that story that Brian sent us.
Oh, cool. Michael Board tweeted about it.
Why do people like that even drive?
Well, that's exactly what I just said. Yes.
Michael Board, Timberlake outside his car doing his field sobriety test.
Yeah, I don't understand that either, Charlie. I mean, he's got
somebody driving.
We have actual footage. We're not. We're not tight. All right.
He could have a car. He could have a driver. He can do whatever he wants, man. I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Timberlake.
And according to TMZ, Charlie, he was arrested almost immediately after he got behind the wheel of his car following a night out with friends at a local hotel.
They were waiting.
Somebody knew something.
Yeah. Not that it could excuse
No.
what used to happen at TK all the time.
Oh, sure.
When he was in Minnesota.
Sure.
Wow.
They'd nail him
Because they knew.
as soon as he come out of a restaurant or a bar.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
Not even out of the parking lot. Not get out of the parking lot. Yeah. Yeah, that's just wow. But I'm serious. Justin Timberlake, hire a limo. Call an Uber. Whatever. You should never. Yeah. It should never be a situation. Wow. I hate to say this, but I will. Joey Fat One would never do this. He has a hot dog place called Fat Ones.
He's got a fucking
Yeah.
game show on
Yeah.
TV.
But he's got a chain of hot dog shops called Fat Ones.
Does he really?
Yep. Donnie Wahlberg would never do this. None of the new kids. All right, so Joe's got Hunter Biden's baby mama on today. Mm-hmm.
Can't wait to miss that.
Well, I've missed it for a long damn time. Boston won it for Bill Walton, man. I did like those shirts. I want one of those shirts.
My God, we're at 40.
Yeah.
Still not back.
It's probably a good thing that we didn't.
Yeah.
Because Ray was about over 5 minutes. So we would have pulled a 5 o'clock hour again. Thanks, News. Together.
San Antonio's first news. Charlie Parker in studio on this Yacht Rock Tuesday. In a moment, we will react to breaking news. A major star arrested for driving while intoxicated. We will tell you who that is coming up. But first, let's check in with Joe Pags from the Joe Pags Show. Joe on the show today has Hunter Biden's baby mama. Good morning, Joe.
That's right, Chris. It's not about Hunter Biden's laptop this time, nor about a trial. This is about his baby, the one that the president and the first lady didn't acknowledge for a long time. He had this child with London Roberts. She's got a brand new book coming out in August, and we've got her on the program today to talk about exactly what's going on there. That and a whole lot more at 5 o'clock right here on News Radio 1200 WOAI. We'll see you then.
See you then, Joe. The Joe Pags Show, 5 to 8 p.m. today and every weekday right here. Charlie Parker in studio with Mr. T and me. And this broke minutes ago. Overnight, arrested in the Hamptons, moments after he got into his vehicle and began to drive after being in a club to then head back to a hotel, apparently. Singer Justin Timberlake. Charlie, are you shocked?
No, I'm never shocked anymore. First of all, can we drop the phrase baby mama from our lexicon? I'm so sick of that. No, I'm not shocked. What shocks me is that these individuals who this tends to happen to, they don't have enough money to get a driver.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going to go out drinking. I mean, if you know that you're going to go out and have a few drinks, I mean, hire a driver, hire a car, buy a fleet of cars.
Makes no
Whatever.
sense whatsoever.
It doesn't.
Was his wife with him?
No.
He was with other dudes.
He was with
apparently.
some friends.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was a dude.
A
get
dude
together?
night out, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And according to TMZ, he was pulled over almost immediately after he got behind the wheel of his car. So
That happens a lot of
yeah.
times. They're just sitting and
waiting for you to stagger out.
Well, I've never been to the Hamptons, but I'm guessing the Hamptons is kind of an elite place to even be.
I'm guessing
But don't
you're
they
right.
take care of their own? If you're as big as Justin Timberlake, do they kind of
Well, we don't
look
know
the
if
other
he's
way?
one of their own.
Well,
He
that's
could have
true.
I don't know.
He's an outsider. Look, Donnie Wahlberg would never happen to him. This would never happen to Donnie Wahlberg.
Or Joey Fat One.
Joey Fat One either, yeah.
Or Dirk Diggler. He's a Wahlberg.
Makes no sense. They're
It
just
doesn't.
They're just being stupid.
It does. I don't understand it.
But we see it happen every day.
Oh yeah.
Everywhere.
Oh yeah. Too much actually.
Now the question is, when we see Justin Timberlake's mugshot, does he have any chance of going beyond the Nick Nolte mugshot, which may be the greatest mugshot ever?
Well, the James Brown one was pretty good.
Yeah.
But Justin Timberlake, come on, man. The guy, even a bad picture, he looks good.
That's
Yeah, he
true.
probably
Yeah,
still looks
he'll
okay.
probably look immaculate. You know, I thought you just got arrested.
Yeah, Nick
Speaking
Nolte.
of driving and drinking, and we were talking a little
Yes.
bit earlier about all those go-karts that are rented down at the coast. What do you think the percentage, just guessing, we don't know, what the percentage of people driving while intoxicated is?
At Port A or at the coast?
Yeah.
I would say 65 to 70.
I'd say higher than that. I think a lot. Most. I mean, I'm sorry to say that, but I've seen them. I'm thinking most.
Most would be 51%.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
they said
most.
65
more,
to 70.
more than that. So I'll go even higher than that. I'll say 75%. I'll say
I'd
three
say
quarters.
Probably 75.
Yeah, there's a
percent.
lot. I mean, I see it. I see it. We see it down at South Padre. They're all over the place. They're everywhere. They're taking over the streets.
Yeah, and you have to you can't drive one of those go-karts or a truck at the coast without having either a Trump 2024 or an F Biden flag.
It's mandatory.
It's the law.
It's mandatory.
You must have that on board.
I see either one of those. Well, first of all, I tend to keep myself away from the crowds, but I see either one of those, I'm not going anywhere near them because I know what that what's gonna be going on.
You certainly don't want to get into a debate with them at the coast.
Not at the
when
beach.
everybody's
no,
drunk.
Not at the beach. No.
All right. More coming up. We will get you caught up on headlines, traffic, weather, and more. WOAI News Time 8:47. Just ahead of headlines, traffic, and weather together and away, you can help kids out of school with nutrition this summer. We'll talk about that coming up. But first, Brian Gann, what stories are you following?
Partly cloudy today. A stray shower thunderstorm possible. Highs low to mid 90s. Tomorrow, rain. There is a potential for flooding rains tomorrow. Highs in the low 80s. Thursday, cloudy with periods of rain. Highs in the mid to upper 80s. 79 degrees in Monte Vista. 79 at City Base and 78 here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time 8:52.
San Antonio's first news. Charlie Parker in studio with us. He's Mr. T. I'm Chris. Charity will be back tomorrow. Hey, Mr. T, a cool thing that the Broadway Bank is doing in association with the San Antonio Food Bank. They've done it before. It's called Summer Snacks for Kids. They're asking us to help provide nutritious snacks for kids out of school during the summer months. You can pick up a summer snack box at any of the 15 Broadway Bank financial centers. On the side of the box, they tell you what you can put in the box for the kids.
Yeah, or if you don't want to do that, $35. They'll take the cash donation of $35, which what it'll take to fill up one of those boxes. They'll take that as well. And you mentioned any of the Broadway Bank financial centers in Bexar County. You can go pick up a box there or make a donation.
And on Tuesday of next week, June 25th, the Broadway Bank location in Leon Springs, a lot of iHeartMedia types like us going to be out there as part of this drive.
Yeah, we
Summer
just don't know
Snacks for
what
Kids.
time yet, Chris, but we're going to be out there.
We're working on that.
Yeah, we're working on what time we will show up out there.
Yes.
So once again, help out the food bank. I'm a big fan of the food bank.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Everybody should be.
Agree.
Because you never know. You never know.
A lot of people are a couple of paychecks away from needing help. We found that out during the pandemic.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
We did. So, yeah, if you can help out, please do.
So, Charlie, now that the NBA finals are over, you focusing exclusively on the College World Series?
We'll only have a couple of days left. Through the weekend.
Through the weekend, exactly.
And then
NBA draft.
NBA draft. Well, thank God we've got a year of Summer Olympics.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
I
July
watch as much of
26th.
that as I can.
Yeah.
What is that?
Cool.
NBC, MSNBC,
Peacock,
USA,
Peacock,
Peacock.
I mean, it's everywhere. There's another one too.
Snoop Dogg doing the commentary on the equestrian event and a few others. I'm looking forward to that. Gummies are optional as you watch that.
For the horses?
Because as we know, Paris is 7 hours in front of us. When something happens, as a listener, as just, a regular person, do you want to know when something happens? United States knocks off France in a basketball game. You want to know that when it happens?
Yes and no.
Should we be reporting that when it happens?
It's a great question.
Or leave it up to people to get the information later?
Well, now they can get it, anywhere they want.
I say we give them a disclaimer. We're going to give you the final in USA
You know how many
versus
disclaimers
France.
you'd have to do?
Yeah, you'd have to,
You'd have to do 4 or 5 in the morning.
Turn your radio down, something like that.
I think that the journalistic thing to do is to announce stuff as it happens.
I agree.
I would agree.
I agree.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, more tomorrow. Charity will be back. We'll start at 5 in the morning. Going to be a rainy day tomorrow across South and Central Texas. We'll be all over the weather tomorrow. Our thanks to Charlie Parker. We have Glenn Beck coming up. Before that, Brian Gann with all the news you need to know on this Tuesday morning. But right now, your Sean Hannity Morning Minute. Beeps.
Have a great one, everybody. Have a good day.
See you, everybody. Thanks for hanging. We'll see you tomorrow, 5 a.m. Thanks.
Bye-bye.